All right, Scum and Villainy, let's make some noise. It's Monday night. Please welcome Kevin Smith and Marc Bernardin for Fat Man Beyond.
Kids, welcome to Fat Man Beyond. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Marc Bernardin.
Hey! Holy fuck, it's a sold out house tonight.
And all these people.
I know.
Hey.
I didn't come prepared. We were just off camera, like backstage, and it was so quiet. It was like a fucking crypt. I was like, was there 12 people out there? And JC's like, no, it's a full house. Why was everyone so quiet? Did somebody fart?
Right.
Raised right.
When I was telling everybody okay, be quiet, and when I announced them, like, go nuts.
Right.
I accidentally streamed that because Andrew's not here tonight, and I hit the button at the wrong time, and I looked down on YouTube. I was like, holy shit, I'm on YouTube telling people in the bar to be excited and create FOMO for the people on YouTube. This is the most embarrassing thing.
Oh my God, you showed them behind the curtain, man. They're like, just like everything in fucking Hollywood, it's nothing but artifice and shit.
I was literally like, this is what TV is like. It's a lot of boring, hurry up and wait. And then I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Now everybody at home knows the deal.
You disillusioned of some poor kid in Indiana who still believed in the magic, man.
But yeah, we've got like 80 plus people here tonight.
Oh, damn.
80 plus people, kids. Right here in the Scum Villainy Cantina in the heart of Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard. Put your hands together so everyone knows you're real at home, kids. Over to you, Captain. I knew you wanted to say something.
Did I want to say something?
I thought you were like, oh, we did that. And then I was like, yeah, we're in Hollywood. Oh, okay.
It's gone.
All right,
it's
kids.
Brilliant, but it's gone.
Chased it away. We're here to chit-chat about all things fucking geeky and whatnot, and talk about some trailers and some movies and some TV shows and a bunch of shit that just doesn't matter, but somehow matters more than anything else in the world, man. You got any chit-chat going on? What's been going on in your life?
Well, a couple little things.
Okay.
A trailer dropped, I want to say it was last week, I think, for the Marvel video game that I had worked on a while ago. It's called Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra.
That's yours?
Yeah.
I've seen that all over the internet.
Yeah. It's not mine. I was one of a billion people who worked on it.
So what, you wrote for it?
I wrote for it. I was part of they assembled a writer's room to sort of break the story for the game, and I was part of that writer's room.
What was that like?
It was really, really interesting because on the one hand, it's story. And you're like, okay, I know. It's Captain America, it's Black Panther, it's punching Nazis. Everybody loves that.
Fuck.
What's our story? Okay, we can fucking World War II, occupied Paris. Cool, spy shit, neat. All right. Gabe Jones gets to be in here, so we could have like jazz interludes and shit. This is great. But the weirdness was, sure, I could write story for that, but you have to play this game. Right. And there have to be moments that feel like you have agency when you don't. Because the story is going to do what the story is going to do, but a person has to play it. Mm. And so there were these two sort of competing, sometimes allied forces of, does it make sense as story? Is it emotional? Does it carry that weight? And also, what is the player doing while they're doing it? What are their thumbs doing while they're also getting story? And there's a whole...
Probably screaming at a 12-year-old over a headset.
Yeah.
Go to hell, you fuck!
Yeah. Teabag it, Grandpa! Yeah, it was just really, really interesting trying to bend what I know about story into an interactive medium.
When you write, do you have to write like everything? Like if they punch, do you have to write, ooh?
No.
Does that count? Like if you're like, I'm not going to write that. They're like, bullshit, we paid you, write everything.
By the word, I get paid.
And we want 8 variations on,
No, I did that job once for this zombie game called State of Decay 2, where we were writing just incidental dialogue. So we need you to say goodbye 8 times to an ally, 8 times neutrally, 8 times to an enemy. So like, how do you say farewell to somebody you don't like? Bye.
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
A professional director? Because I get paid for this sort of shit.
Tell me.
Like this. Give me it again.
Goodbye to a friend. Goodbye to a neutral
Hold
person.
on. Slow down.
And not performance.
Goodbye to a friend.
Literally just words on a page.
Just words on. What do you mean?
Just like, because you can't say, oh, hey, goodbye. You don't get intonation. You don't get that shit. It's just literally, what do you say to a friend? Not how do you perform goodbye to a friend.
I withdraw.
Yeah. And so I did that.
Do you get paid by the word in a video game or no?
On that particular one, yeah. It was like, we just grinding out fucking text. And so that was a volume job. And I hated it after a while.
Did it like make you go like words are cheap? I'm
You
a
fucking
whore.
hate this shit. This is the worst. Maybe numbers would be better.
I took my gift and I turned it into a prostitute.
I poor things my gift. Did you guys see Poor Things? Did you guys like Poor Things? Yeah, I caught up with it after the Oscars, and I was like, okay. I mean, that's a movie. And I didn't know I'd ever see that much of Emma Stone.
She's naked in it?
All the time.
Is that right?
It's like she's allergic to clothes for most of that movie.
Is it real?
Yes.
How do you know these days?
Well, I mean, I'd like to think that I could tell a real nipple from a fake nipple, but then again, some of that spaceship shit looks real too.
I mean, they took Robert Downey Jr. and made him look like he did in Less Than Zero in that Civil War picture. You could easily put a green bikini on somebody and throw nipples on later on.
That's very true.
Yeah. Same way they're gotten rid of guns on a set, you could probably get rid of nudity as well.
I mean, I know that there's a specific job in VFX called tent removal. Do you guys know what tent removal is? Anybody here work in VFX?
Is it what it sounds
You?
like?
Do you know what tent removal is? See, nodded. It's when you're wearing spandex and you're like a superhero dude and you're rocking a boner. And so somebody's got to go in and paint away your boner so you don't upset the librarians in like your elementary school.
Why are you hard on set? Didn't we have a whole movement about this and shit?
But if everybody's in spandex, like, oh, hey.
I mean, that's so...
Hey.
I don't know, it feels weird if everybody's in spandex. Like, would you ever get hard at your job? So much so that you're like, leave it in.
Sometimes it's
Yeah, whoever can pick this up, they're fucking worthy, I'll tell you much.
I mean, sometimes also if you're just like fucking Fassbender and you're built like a
So not necessarily
A-train.
hard, just fucking
prodigious
volume and
yes,
shit.
yes. If it's like, oh, we're filling Lincoln Tunnel with this dude's junk, then it's like, well, we got to pave this shit over. Otherwise, we're going to have ratings issues.
The Burt Ward, apparently he was very well hung.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
TV's Robin. They had to strap it down. I'm like serious, it sounds funny, but he talks about it on an episode of Fat Man on Batman years ago.
Back when it was good?
No.
What, am I not the internet?
No, it's just different. No, do you feel like people like the early incarnation better than this?
Oh, there's like 1 out of every 100 commenters. Like, I just wish it would go back to Kevin interviewing people who did Batman things. I'm like, all
One
right,
out of 100 is pretty good for the
I know, I'll
hateful
take
internet, man. Like, what are you bitching about?
I'll take it. That's a 99% approval.
I'm going to try to reset. I got
Do your best.
I'm going to try my best. I'm trying to stay away from the blues. It's been that kind of day. So I was hoping, like, you know what? I'll come here and that'll always shake off the blues. And I think it will, but I think a blue milk might help. So, bartender, may I have I think the treatment for the blues is alcohol.
Go figure.
I know better than this, but...
Well, welcome to 3,000 years of human experience.
I guess. I think it has a lot to do with, I saw the news article about how True Milk or True Blue, whatever that milk is, they're making blue milk. Like, after all this fucking time, somebody's like going, oh, why don't we just license this shit, put some paint in it, and sell it to the fucking... And it ain't even to the kids. You know who's going to buy this shit. I can't wait to buy it. I don't even drink dairy, and I'm going to buy it and drink it and shit like that. Thank you.
Did you know?
Salute, kids.
I will tell
what
you.
about you? Are you having anything?
I'm
I don't drink alone, bitch. Get a drink. What's your poison?
Can you double that?
I'll wait for you.
Wait for me. Did you know?
Sad if
I'll
I'd
give you a
go with
piece of
that.
arcane world history.
Yeah.
For the longest time, it was impossible to purify water. And so only literally up until like the 40s or 50s could you reliably purify water and then travel with it. So every army that has ever been up until World War II was drunk because the only thing they could drink that would portably move was alcohol. Wouldn't go bad. The alcohol would kill all of the fucking whatever, the bacteria in it.
Let's find out.
Always drunk. So every documentary you've ever seen, every World War I/II/ fucking ancient movie, Gladiator, everybody's hammered because the only thing you had to drink was like beer, mostly beer. And beer's been around since ancient Egypt. Beer and honey. Honey never goes bad. I'm gonna tell you motherfuckers just some shit that I learned watching.
Is this all part of the Marvel game? I'm like, these are fascinating factoids. So like, I guess we are paying the guy by the word. He's
By
talking
the
about
guy.
honey.
They've unearthed fucking pharaohs from ancient Egypt and buried with honey, and they crack the honey open, and it's still edible.
You could eat the honey.
You could eat the fucking honey. It just never goes bad.
Ever.
Ever.
Is
Fucking
it-
bees, man.
Fucking bees, man.
Nostrovia.
Kids, to resetting. Salute.
Oh, it's going to be a good night.
Yeah. I feel honesty coming on.
Oh, shit.
Why are there so many fucking bags around here? What's going on? Are we on QVC? I just suddenly fucking...
Kevin,
What is this?
we're going on a trip on your favorite rocket ship.
Is that what it is? Banff Man's here, everybody. Banff
Banff.
Man, explain. Give it up for Banff Man. JC.
So if you follow Mark on Instagram, I'm going to let Mark talk about it. But Mark is a model now. Did you know that? He is a
Are you
model.
serious?
I'm a model, if you know what I mean. I shake my little thing on the catwalk.
Who are you modeling for?
Friend of the bar and friend of the podcast, Carissa Marston, has since...
Carissa from the bar?
Carissa from the bar. She is now a sort of high-end muckety-muck over at a company called Loungefly, which is the apparel sort of branch of Funko.
Yeah, they make the expensive bags.
Yeah, so they had been doing a lot of bag stuff, sort of licensed with Disney for women, but they're like, we want to break into the boy market. How do we do that? Who should we get to be our ambassador for boys?
You're a boy.
I'm a boy. I have boy parts. I'm a Ken. And she's like, hey, do you wanna be an influencer? I was like, do tell. What happens if I'm an influencer? Who do I have to influence?
Do I want to be? I have been for quite some time.
Yeah, just influencing on a very small scale. But I'm ready to go pro. She's like, well, if we got to do a photo shoot, you got to wear this fancy jacket, which I didn't bring.
There was an official photo shoot?
Yeah, bitch. I just rock black steel all up in it. Just kapow, kapow, kapow. Huh? Lots of surprised looks. And so part of it was,
Can't believe I'm doing this.
holy shit. So this here was the bag that I was modeling, not the Loki stuff, but the Star Wars stuff. The Executive collection.
Very nice.
Ooh, right?
You put
I
like
can
a
fucking
computer
vanity
in there.
shit.
So, you can see some X-Wings here.
X-Wing shit. You can put a computer in here, laptop, whatever you need.
Nice.
And so I was like, hey, this was fun. Thank you very much. Like, do you want to give some of these away? And I said, well, yeah. So happens I got a podcast where we just vacate our garages of shit that we don't want anymore. Would you like to have these bags be some shit we don't want anymore?
Welcome to Garage Sale, the podcast.
And so that's why we're surrounded by luggage, is because for the Q&A portion of the show, we are going to be giving away some of these jammies.
People are going to walk with bags?
They're going to walk with bags, man.
Listen to that shit. Give it up for Mark. He can give you some bags.
We got you some bags.
Do we also have 40X tickets as well to give away, thanks to our good friend Brett Deacon, or no?
Banff, we have 40X tickets, and then Mark brought even more stuff,
I
too.
brought one more thing.
I didn't bring anything. I feel like a shit.
We got you. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
Under the bag, yeah.
We're going to save it. We're not even going to show what it is yet. But I'm going to just tell you, we are looking out for the health of your ass. Literally. We are here to clean your rectums, boys and girls.
Stay tuned, kids.
These pipes are going to be clean.
That's true. Yeah, they're
So clean.
yeah. If you give a shit about your asshole, keep watching.
You can eat off it. It'll be so clean.
Shall we dive into? God, we got a full show, man.
We got stuff. We were talking out back. I had this epiphany. I was up at a film festival over the weekend up in Seattle, the Make Believe Seattle Genre Film Festival. And I don't even know why this stumbled into my head, but it occurred to me that we of us, I think specifically us as old men, are the first generation who could watch a thing twice on purpose. Like before 1979, 1980, like VHSs weren't real. The rental VHS market didn't really exist. Like the 80s was the really big innovation in that front. So before then, like if you loved the sound of music, you maybe got to see it once if they put it on TV.
Right.
But if you loved anything fucking else, you saw it once in a theater and just remembered it. Remember that time we saw Shaft? That was great, right? Moving on.
Right.
The rest of
and
your
if
life.
they re-released it, you get a chance to go see
You get a
it.
bite at the apple, but like repertory houses weren't that big a deal anymore.
Certainly not in the suburbs.
Cable didn't exist. There was no way to buy a thing and watch a thing. Whereas now, I could just, if I wanted to watch Parks and Rec for the 9th time, I could watch every fucking episode of Parks and Rec. It'd make me happy. I've seen The Road Warrior 68 times. I've seen Empire Strikes Back 234 times. I've seen the things that I love so often that I now know them by heart. Whereas, like, my parents had to... Bridge on the River Kwai was great, right? I think so. We saw it 5 years ago, and we'll never see it again.
It probably looms larger in one's memory. You see it once. If you liked it, you're like all in. You're like, oh my God, it was amazing. And you don't have repeat viewings to be like, it was all right.
Yeah, you never confirm whether it was good or bad or not, because in your brain, it just lives as amazing.
Or lessen your appreciation for it. Whereas something, small and stupid, like Clerks, watched over and over again, people go like, I guess it's funny, and a career thrives because of that. Yeah, it's true, man. I never really thought about it. We're the first ones that got to be like, do it again. But when we were kids, that wasn't the case even. We were still kind of stuck like our parents. Like, if they would run a sitcom that you loved, you had to wait till summer to see that episode again.
Yeah, there was only a handful of things, because I remember I was a kid, and we got a VCR when I was like 9 years old, but there was no fucking tapes. Like if you wanted to buy, because we bought the Muppet movie, it cost us $100 to buy the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early VHS was so expensive.
That's why video rental stores became huge. They would do the big expensive buy,
right?
And so for $5 a watch, you could then watch whatever the fuck you wanted to watch. But if you wanted to own it, there was no clamshells yet. There was no sell-through yet. It was built for rental. And so, like, if you really fucking wanted it, you had to know a guy at a video store. It's like, hey, man, I'll slip you $200 if you'll get me Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Not anymore. You can watch whatever you want whenever you want it. Like, we get to teach ourselves how to make movies by watching the movies that we love. Like, I didn't go to film school. You went to kind of film school.
Kind of. But yeah, it got easier to not go to film school.
Yeah. Like, I would just... I would buy screenplays. In New York, you could do it. You'd buy the fucking bound screenplay outside of NYU, because there was like a bunch of like Nigerian immigrants who got a Kinko's Express card and would then just like make photocopies of various screenplays. And I would buy like Aliens and then go home and flip on the Laserdisc of Aliens and just watch it and just go, oh, that's how that worked? Oh, shit, that's how that worked? Oh, cool. And that's kind of how I taught myself to write.
Did I ever tell you my sound? I don't think I did. I don't think I've ever told it on the show. At a New York con convention, Fred Greenberg's show that they used to have at the Penta Hotel in New York, there was a dude who would sell scripts. And I had read Thomas Harris's Silence of the Lambs. Of course, I'd read Red Dragon, and I loved the movie Manhunter, and I knew they were making Silence of the Lambs. So I saw the fucking script on the table. Wow. Bought the Silence of the Lambs script for $15 a year before it came out. Also bought a Buckaroo Banzai script from him as well. He had great covers, man, like homemade covers, but like, you know, some people just write the name of the movie. He had like a picture from the video box and stuff like that. Real classy for a bootleg operation. So that script was where I learned format to screenplay, not how to write a screenplay. I think writing is something you could do or you can't. And I think learning the format was the only thing that I really needed to be taught. I'd seen enough movies to be like, well, I have an idea of what movie I would make. I just don't know how to present it. So looking at that script was how I learned to write screenplays. Years later, man, I've made movies. I think this is between Mallrats and Chasing Amy. And I went to another con in New York at the Church Con, you know, the one they do in the basement at St. Paul's. That screenplay guy was there.
Still there?
Selling Clerks and Mallrats. Aww. And I felt like, I've done it. I have arrived. Real moment of accomplishment for me.
Did you go and buy it?
I did.
And be like, this is not my script.
Their version was way better. Yeah, man, it was crazy. I remember those days of like, oh, access was limited to something. Now, you could literally go to your computer and be like, can you write me a Silence of the Lambs? And it'll spit one out for you. For the way I understand it. I haven't tried that yet, have you?
I don't even want to tempt myself with it.
Yeah.
No. Or like give it any of my shit, right? Because you have to feed it things before it'll kind of spit things out. Or the internet has already scraped every screenplay ever written and put it into the AI machine. I'm like, that feels wrong.
It's just, it feels like, why would I relinquish something I enjoy doing so much myself? But I also have a fleshlight, so that negates that whole... I don't know. I just, it doesn't appeal to me. And I'm not like, oh, I'm fucking against the fucking computers are coming for us. It just seems like, no, I can do that. Like, you know, there's a lot of shit that I would like the AI to do for me, but write a whole screenplay, it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bamf.
Oh!
Did you guys...
enjoy the blue milk? Fuck yeah, I did.
There's... so like when Star Wars came out, before Star Wars came out on VHS, there was the storybooks. And the storybook had pictures from the Tashi Station and Biggs. Did you get hit with the Mandela effect, where you were like, no, I swear I saw a version of Star Wars where Biggs was on Tatooine? And because there are so many people, like when the internet came up, they were like, I saw a version of the movie on this local thing that had the Tashi Station on it.
Did they ever do that? Was there ever like some like network broadcast?
No.
Yeah.
But it was all this. It was pictures from the storybook.
I've seen those. I've seen the pictures on the trading cards when I was a kid, and in the Marvel Comics novelization, there's also the whole big scene and whatnot. But never once was I like, I feel like I've seen this. A pretty good lift too, by the way. I don't think it's a hot take, but like years later, you really didn't need that storyline.
No.
Thoughts?
Also, you can watch it on probably Disney Plus now, but they had it on a DVD-ROM called Behind the Magic in like the 90s, and then they put it on the Blu-ray. So like I remember I got the DVD-ROM and I was like, oh my God, it's new Star Wars! Because at that time, that was the only thing that was going to be new Star Wars.
God, remember new Star Wars and how few and far between it ever was?
Remember being excited? I remember downloading the trailer for Phantom Menace at my work computer, and it took a while because like broadband didn't really exist. And I like, no, I want all of it. Give me the big fucking file. I want to fill my screen, not the shitty QuickTime window that was this big
Yes.
and you couldn't make out anything. And then I remember going, because I was working in New York at the time, so I went to this theater in Times Square because it was like, oh, if you went to go see Wing Commander, then they had the trailer in front of Wing Commander. So I fucking ponied up my money for a matinee of Wing.
Mark was in Wing Commander.
Because Mark was in Wing Commander. And I was like, oh, this Wing Commander's awful, you guys. And I just like got up and left. Like, I don't need to stay. Like, I'm not bound to this movie. I'm going to go back to work.
You'd already seen the trailer.
I saw that. I got my piece of the trailer. And I'm leaving now.
Bam. I can one-up that. On whenever it was, November 12th 1998. I got off of high school. My friends and I got in the car and drove to the Barrington 16 movie theater that was like 20 miles from our house. And we had plotted out Waterboy and Meet Joe Black with the running times because the Star Wars Episode 1 trailer was running at the beginning and the end of the credits of both those movies. So we figured out the run time, we figured out the length of the credits for each movie, and built a schedule and movie hopped for 3 hours watching sections of Waterboy and Meet Joe Black to see the Star Wars trailer 12 times.
This is the only place you could tell that story and not get your ass kicked.
How old were you?
I was a senior in high school.
So you're 17 at this point?
Yeah, I was
18?
just about to turn 18.
What does like a 17, 18-year-old make of Meet Joe Black?
I mean,
Like a movie about facing a good death or something like that.
it was interesting because we watched Meet Joe Black, but in the opening scene, Brad Pitt gets crushed by a car,
Yeah.
and does like Mary Lou Retton acrobatics off of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it was also interesting because we didn't watch the whole movie. We watched enough of the movie to get to the point where Waterboy was starting in theater 12, and then we'd go. So I don't know if I ever caught the full 3.5 hours of Meet Joe Black.
Did you catch the part where Brad Pitt is playing a Jamaican?
I don't think so.
You guys
forgot about
yeah,
that.
Some motherfuckers are like, I remember that. Shit you can't do today is white ass Brad Pitt as Death going up to this old black lady and speaking in the worst fucking Jamaican patois, but committed to the bit.
So committed, he sounded like Tom
Yeah,
Hanks'
Chet.
son Chet, man. It was so like thick and yeah, you can't.
Oh,
do that
mama. Oh, what you crying for? No, stop it, Brad Pitt. Stop it. You're not going to the bad place, Grandma. You're going to be fine. No.
You're making it work. I'll be honest with you.
I can make it work. I'm
Fair
a fucking
enough.
black dude
Fair enough.
who grew up around Jamaicans.
Fair enough.
I can, like, this much of it I can do and not get my ass kicked in a Jamaican bar.
Yeah, but Brad Pitt has an Oscar.
He does. If only he had one for that.
It's a good. Other than that, though, pretty watchable movie.
I mean, it goes on for a while, but yeah, there's that moment where you're like, how the fuck did this happen? Like the James Earl Jones stuff in Soul Man, where, in case you forgot, Darth fucking Vader is in that movie, which is awful. And there's a scene at the end of the movie where C. Thomas Howell, who, by the way, has been in blackface the entire film, and it's like fine about it. And he goes, he's a student, and he's like, this is my senior thesis, is to see what it's like to be different as a black person and a white person. And James Earl Jones is his teacher or dean or whatever. He's like, what have you learned? He's like, things are different. Fuck you! And also, James Earl Jones must have had a divorce to pay for, or like a kid to put through college, because he can't read that script and be like, yeah, no, this is on a level. I'm fine with it. I'm going to go back to the Black Panther meetings and tell them what I'm doing this week is the blackface movie about white boy who learns shit.
And that's this week's hot take on 80s favorite. What was it called again? Soul Man.
Soul Man. Yeah, no, I look forward to the internet's feelings about this. Why you got to make it about race, Mark?
I think most people would be like, that wasn't a real movie.
Can't possibly have been.
What did I do this week? I had some meetings on some shows that I'm working on. And last week, me and Jay got added to a sitcom. I'm not at liberty to say which one yet. But it was just a fuckload of fun to do. In a world,
Night Court? Did you do Night Court?
No, I'm not going to say, but it wasn't Night Court.
I'm just going to keep naming sitcoms.
Go ahead.
Golden Girls. I mean, time
I don't
travel,
know if
right?
I can fucking appear on that one. It was fun, man. Me and him like had a really good time doing it. But there was a part of me that was like, oh my god, like because this is like a 4-camera shoot, like traditional sitcom where all the sets are next to each other and they go up and down when they shoot. And I was like, man, fucking, why didn't I gravitate toward this? Like I gravitated toward film because I saw Slacker and I was like, well, that looks achievable and stuff. But I was raised by sitcoms. So when they brought me to it, like I was like, oh my god, this is fucking in my DNA. Like I could do this shit in my sleep and whatnot. And my take on sitcoms is like they're never really looking for subtle acting. Like as I was there, I was like, this is theater. This shit's live theater. And they shoot it on a Friday night. So there's all the fun and energy of like a high school play. And I was like, oh my god, I love everything about this. They shoot it in scenes that are like maybe no more than 2 pages. You only ever have to memorize like maybe 4 or 5 lines per scene or something like that, which for me is like easy. I've always stayed away from acting because I can't memorize shit, hence Silent Bob. So doing this was a real like, oh my god, this is great. And so my kid went, they said, you want anyone to go to the taping? And I was like, well, let me ask my kid. And she was like, oh, I have to see this. And so her and her boyfriend Austin and her friend from high school came to watch the taping. So my first scene, I got a scene before I'm introduced, before Jay's introduced, and then I have a scene with Jay as well. So the first scene where I'm introduced, man, I come off so like what I consider sitcom big that the director like came over to me and was like, let's see if we can ground your character a little bit. And oh my god, dude. And I was like, ground the character, you mean don't erect? And the director was like, that'd be good. And so I went and did it again, and finally they were like, all right, we're moving on. So it was like huge, and then before we went to the next scene, I was able to like run to where the kid was seated. And the kid is like a dyed-in-the-wool actor trained with like a real acting teacher and stuff, Deb Aquila. And just absolutely, why, thank you.
Oh,
and
hello.
just really like treats it like a craft, whereas to me acting's just like a fun thing you do. Yes, exactly. Hold on. Cheers.
Cheers.
So I give this massive performance. I quick run backstage to the kid. Kid's seated with like 20, 30 VIPs backstage right up front. So I have to pass everybody to go right up to her. And I get right fucking like down into her face with a serious look on my face. And I'm like, bigger? And she was like, oh God, Dad, I was ready to leave. It was so huge. But I fucking loved it, man. It was like a good ass time doing it. And the older I get, that's like what I'm most interested in. I've always been interested in it being fun and whatnot. But I think in the beginning I was definitely also like, I'm a filmmaker and I have stories to tell. The older I get and the more stories I've told, and it's not like they're less important or something like that, but the older you get, your priorities shift. And, you know, I used to make films like I was trying to save the fucking universe. And I made a bunch of them now, and I realized, like, the universe is just fine. It doesn't need my help. I'm just making stories that hopefully entertain an audience while they entertain me. So the older I get, the more I'm interested in like, my God, that was fun. What a good fucking time that was. Because on our end, you know, time is, we're on the shorter side of things on this side. It was only like 6 years ago. I had the massive heart attack last year. I lost my fucking mind. So the older I get, the more I'm like, this is fun. And I wonder what the young Kevin Smith would make of that. The kid that started the journey. Like if I went back in time and was like, the older you get, the more you just want to be like a C or D character on a sitcom. Is that okay with you? And I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion he might be like, wait, we're going to be on TV?
That's amazing.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, we could reboot My Two Dads for you and Jay.
It's so funny you say that. I literally started writing that sitcom last week. I had so much fun doing this. I was like, me and him could totally do a fucking sitcom like that. And so I'm 10 pages in, And I'm like, again, there's a part of me is like, what would the young filmmaker make of this? But I want to believe the young filmmaker, the young Kevin Smith who started this journey, I'm just continuing it, would have understood, because he too was raised by sitcoms. They were beloved to him. But he never grew up in a world that encouraged you to dream you could be a part of that. When you were growing up watching TV, did anybody ever say, one day you could write this shit? No. My father took me to the movies every fucking week almost, man. And we sat there and we watched movies. Never once was he like, you could do this shit. We just didn't come from that world where people encourage that sort of thing and whatnot. So it never occurred to me to be like, oh my God, I could fucking make a sitcom. When I saw Slacker, I was like, oh my God, I can make a fucking navel-gazing film about like the world that I live in. Fuck yeah. And that led to everything else. But I don't know, man. It'd be weird to go back in time and tell the young Kevin Smith that like 30 years in, you pivot real hard into sitcoms. And I'm like, and the young Kevin Smith is like, what? Why? Because we get rich? And I'm like, oh no, the money's gone in entertainment at that point. You're just doing it because it feels good.
Like, we're not going to get like Modern Family rich? No.
Oh no, those days are over. I don't know if anyone can get Modern Family rich anymore. Do you think there'll ever be a sitcom that reaches 100 episodes again? The model used to be different. They needed 100 episodes, 200 to get to syndication or something. That.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia is going on 16 years.
Absolutely. But will anything ever do, like the Goldbergs hit 10. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people theorize that's the last sitcom that'll ever hit. 10.
Abbott Elementary is going strong. That has a shot.
How many years they've been on?
I think this is the fourth season. Third season? Fourth season? Three. A lot of diehard Abbott Elementary people here. Like, 3, motherfucker. Like, Bradley Cooper showed up. See episode 3 of season 3.
Did Bradley Cooper show up?
Yeah. Because he wanted an Oscar real bad. I'm sorry. He's a nice guy.
He seems like a nice dude, but nothing really panned out with that movie.
Not this year.
Did you ever see it?
No.
The older I get, like, I'm wondering, like, if, like, sometimes I go, like, am I a good fucking geek anymore, man? Am I a good nerd? Like, do I give a shit enough about things? Case in point, spoilers, kids. Like, we're going to talk about Ghostbusters eventually. I didn't see it yet. And that's crazy to me. Because, like, fucking go back in time and tell young Kevin Smith, like, not only do they keep making Ghostbusters movies, but, like, they make so many that you forget that it opens. And what's really weird about that is you also own a movie theater in the future. I didn't even know it happened, man. Like, all of a sudden I saw the artwork for this week's show that the great Dark Nate Gonzalez, give it up for Nate, ladies and gentlemen. The artwork is always fucking stunning. But when I saw that piece, I was like, oh, I guess that's next week. And then I fucking looked online and I was like, oh my God, it happened. Yeah. It opened to like $45 million or something. Like, what's wrong with me? Why didn't I rush off to see that?
Because you were busy writing My Two Dads.
I was, literally. Honestly, there are moments where like I consume, and then there are moments where like I produce. And lately I've been in a mode of like, I'm going to write. Like I finished my Jay and Silent Bob script, which I fucking love. It wasn't something I thought about doing or saw coming, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to do this as an exercise. And it turned into a movie that I'm like, oh my God, like I'm proud of myself that I could still make a funny fucking flick without leaning on like the same old shit. Yes, it is a Jay and Silent Bob movie, but you could take them out of it, the movie would still fucking work. Like it's just a comedy. I'm glad it's me and him because fuck it. Like why am I casting somebody else? Like fuck it, we should do it and shit like that.
Did you make it like the Theo and Cockroach movie? Remember
Cosby Show?
Yeah.
What Theo and Cockroach? Why?
Cockroach was his best friend.
I remember, but why would I?
Why not? Could you plug them into your movie and would it still play?
I think people might have questions. But you could, yeah.
You could?
You could. I feel you could. You've changed the names, of course.
I'm just trying to plug it. Yeah, you can't call them Theo and Cockroach.
No. Well, you could call them Jay and Silent Bob either. But my feeling is you could like just make it any two people and it would still
Butch and Sundance?
work. Very much so. Or brand new, like Harold and Kumar. Well, they're not new.
But like Castle and McCormick?
Yes. You can
Scarecrow
put
and Mrs. King.
me and you. Anybody could plug
BJ and the Bear.
Yes.
Just keep naming.
Yeah, I mean, go, man. Fall down the hole. But I just did a
Starsky and
second.
Hutch?
Yes, absolutely, Starsky and Hutch. I just did a second draft today, and I'm kind of more into like I'm going to write a thing. Like I put aside the sitcom thing to kind of do a second draft of this, and now I'm back to the sitcom thing. Maybe it's just because I'm like in a more of a production mode, but like there's nothing that I'm jonesing to see. Like I recently, all weekend long, I fell down a Prime Suspect hole. You
Was
ever
there
watch
a murder weapon at the bottom of that hole?
Always. It was a real like Dame Helen Mirren kind of weekend, man. I just kept watching and I've seen Prime Suspect before, but for some reason that was what I was kind of jonesing for. Do you find that like you want to watch the exact opposite of whatever you're working at? Like I'm writing one of the dumbest movies ever made, so naturally I'm like, you know what'll sustain me? Prime Suspect.
Get me a dame. Any dame will do.
Yes.
Yeah, I try to avoid swimming in the same pool that I'm trying to piss in.
That's a good way to put it.
I don't know if I've ever swerved as hard as into fucking Prime Suspect, but I've also been in a bit of a Columbo hole.
Is that right?
Yeah, like ever since fucking Poker Face, which is just like Columbo. I remember watching the finale of Poker Face, and then it kicked me into the very first episode of Columbo on Peacock, I think it was. And in case you've never seen the first episode of Columbo, it's written by Steven Bochco and directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, shit.
Like,
seriously?
It's fun. Yeah, the pilot of Columbo are those two fucking people. And it's great.
Why do you think he never talks about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, it's fucking Jaws, Jurassic Park. He's never like, and for all you Columbo motherfuckers out there, you know who set the template? Steven.
Oh, you crime-solving bitches. This is what I do. I mean, he's talked a little bit about his formative career, just like banging around the universe a lot, just directing episodic TV.
Right. Like he directed, what's her name? Joan Crawford.
Yeah,
in
like
Night
a Night
Gallery.
Like he just did a bunch of that shit because that's what was there to do, and that was his like matriculation into it. I'm just going to direct. I'm just going to get hours under my belt, and then would get Duel, which was the culmination of that, and then go from Duel
goes to
Jaws. But like Columbo's fucking great. I mean, I don't know, newsflash, but it's really good.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Who do you think's been doing police procedurals longer, U.S. or the U.K.? They seem to also like the police procedural genre, but I feel like Dragnet kind of kicks it off.
Yeah, there's like Car 54 shit. There's,
Well, Car 54 is a comedy.
Yeah, they're still solving
Dragnet
crimes.
is literally, though, but that's like, you know, these guys investigate, they track down the culprit, they fucking get them by the end of the show. Maybe sometimes they do the legal process, but that to me is like the earliest recollection, I think, of like police procedural. That, you know, hones close to like a Law and Order. But all them British shows, man, they love police procedurals, and I was like, but so do we. Which country do you think loves them more?
I think we did it first. I think our fascination with crime. I think that was our, like, because there's a rebel streak in it, right? And we love the idea of Law and Order, like cowboys and Indians, like all of that shit feels very American. Where like British things, like we couldn't even carry guns.
But they have mysteries. They have Sherlock Holmes. They have Hercule Poirot.
They do.
Fucking Miss Marple and shit like that. So they're always into like, hey, procedural, figure out the crime.
I mean, I think they were very much into like this citizen detective. You know, as opposed to like we're cops solving crimes.
Excellent fucking observation. Good
Like
point.
everybody's smart. What if you just also like cocaine a lot and wanted to solve crimes? I can solve any crime if I just do enough bumps.
It's crazy because that reflects kind of the current taste more than anything else. Like it is kind of citizen crime busters and whatnot, with everybody sleuthing online. And
Fuckers. We should probably sell an ad and then do some news.
oh fuck! All right, let's do it. Let's
Banff.
sell things. Hey, Banff Bands.
Blue
Just
milk ourselves.
right before we run the ad,
Yeah.
I do want to point out that March 25th,
Today.
2011, was the first podcast I did with Kevin Smith. We did Jay and Silent Bob Get Old at the Lovitz Theater.
So 13 years ago.
It's 13 years ago.
Fucking
Isn't that crazy?
It is, but at the same time, doesn't it feel like we've known each other longer?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
It feels like he's been in
You
my
old
life.
hag. It feels like I've known you forever.
Well, I mean, on the editing, the assistant editing front alone, how many of the last few movies have you and I done together?
I've done everything since Tusk. Tusk
Yeah.
onward.
That's crazy, man. So yeah, it all stemmed from Jordan, Jason's.
Oh yeah, here I'll put up.
You got it. You have the.
I have it. Oh no, it went to the wrong.
Once again, man,
thing.
poor Andrew's not here this week. What is Andrew doing?
Andrew is in Houston shooting a thing for Billboard magazine.
Oh, that rocks. So not
Yeah.
poor Andrew. Fucking Andrew actually getting paid for a change.
yeah.
And
Andrew-
JC having to do fucking the Wheels of Steel this week.
I thought I had it, but it is pulling up the wrong thing. Anyway, yeah, you sent a tweet that said any filmmakers looking for who have a Canon 5D camera, which is how old that tweet was, and I responded, and you were like, talk to @Jordan, and she's like, come to the Lovitz tonight with all your gear. And then we did that, and then she was like, you guys want to come back tomorrow? You want to come back tomorrow? 13 years later, it's like, here we go again.
Most likely kill you in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for answering that tweet, man. You've enriched my fucking life and art. Give it up for JC, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, now let's get paid.
Yeah, fuck. What do we got this week? Oh, the fucking Lumen, man.
Yes. What the fucking metabolizer, breathalyzer fucking thing?
I'm gonna hold it up.
I'm
so
afraid of
can
it.
See it. This is a device, ladies and gentlemen. Let's open the box so they can actually see it. This is what it looks like. This is the Lumen. Basically, it measures your metabolism. So let's say you're a person that's all about your health and whatnot, or you're a faster, like I used to be a faster. You breathe into this, it'll tell you when you're metabolizing fat or versus metabolizing all important muscle and stuff like that. It's an ingenious device that hooks up to your phone, of course.
Yeah, the good folks at Lumen. Measurement your metabolism in a single breath. Get real-time insights to improve your metabolic health with Lumen. Metabolism is life. It's the process. Should I do it in a more like documentary voice?
Yeah, do it like Dune.
Lisan al-Gaib! Lisan al-Gaib! Metabolism is life. It's the process by which our body converts food into energy that can be used immediately or stored for later use. The entire process occurs in the mitochondria, which produce energy to power our cells. With Lumen, you can measure mitochondrial efficiency and gain insight into the health of our metabolism just by breathing. It provides actionable information to help you improve your metabolic health. The Lumen Metabolic Coach is the world's first non-invasive handheld device and app combination, working together to revolutionize metabolic tracking. The device analyzes your breath to determine how your metabolism... I got stumbled there a little bit.
I honestly don't think Emma Stone committed like you committed to that. Give it
I'm
up
in
for
it.
Mark. That's actually pretty impressive.
I mean, you fuckers keep clapping, I'm going to take my pants off. I don't need an Oscar that bad. The device analyzes your breath to determine how your metabolism is functioning, including immediate feedback on whether your body is using carbs or fats for fuel. What's unique about Lumen, you ask?
Tell him.
I'll tell you. Real-time feedback. Make on-the-spot adjustments to your lifestyle choices with instant feedback on your metabolic health. Am I suddenly getting like... There's a... I don't know. I'm feeling this weird like John Rice Davies sneaking in towards the end of it.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, there's a
All
little
right.
Sala
A little
in that
Sala.
delivery. Bad dates.
Non-invasive. Lumen is handheld, non-invasive, and simple to use. Just breathe, dear boy. Now I'm going Mark Hamill.
Yes.
That's where that's going. Individualized health roadmap. Lumen offers daily nutrition, fitness, sleep, and mindset guidance tailored to individual metabolic rates and lifestyle goals. Community. Users can share experiences and learn from each other in a supportive, knowledgeable, and like-minded community. It's a lifetime investment in one's health, providing valuable insights for the long term. And with more than 54 million metabolic measurements, Lumen is the world leader in metabolic data. So go to lumen.me, that's lumen.me, and enter code FATMAN at checkout to get $50 off your Lumen. That's lumen.me and code FATMAN at checkout to get $50 off your Lumen.
We thank the good folks at Lumen for sponsoring this here show. Give it up for the Lumen folks.
Thank you, Lumen! Thank you so much.
Banff man, you're into the Lumen, correct?
Okay, so I have a little story. It's related to Lumen. When I was 22 years old, which was 21 years ago, which is frightening. I joined a gym when I was living in New Jersey, and they were like, "Oh, we'll measure your metabolic rate for like $300 or whatever." I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." My resting metabolic rate when I was 22 was 3,300 calories a day.
What does that mean?
It means I could eat whatever I want and not put on a single pound. I had it redone when I was 35 in LA because I was like, I'm putting on some weight. What's going on? And it had dropped from 3,300 resting, meaning if I lied in bed, I burned 3,300 calories, to 1,100. I was like, well, now I know I'm putting on weight. So when they were the sponsor, I asked Will, I was like, do I get one? Like, I want to know. I've paid for this twice in my life, the service. So now you can do it on your phone, literally for the price of one.
Happy 13th anniversary, my friend. Come get your Lumen! Oh my God, you're going to have so much fun.
Just breathe, dear boy.
I'm so excited about that. Also, somebody in chat goes, "Aw, JC and Kevin had a meet cute."
We did.
So I'll put it up. I've got it up there now. It said,
there it is.
Literally, you tweeted, and I said,
slide into these DMs, son.
I'm available to shoot tonight. I have a 7D, a Canon 5D.
I'm ready to shoot.
I embarrassedly gushed, and then you're like, cool, let's do it. So now everybody's seen the tweet.
It's that simple, kids. Just fucking give me shit for free, and you enter my world so easily.
I will say, we did it for free for like 2 months, and then AOL bought it, and we started getting paid.
And then you guys started getting paid. Oh my God, you're bringing back so many fucking memories.
Remember AOL?
I need more blue milk. Yes! I remember AOL because I don't really fuck with email that much anymore, but every once in a while you deal with some people who are like, we cannot text it to you. We have to email. I'm like, all right. And I give them my email address, which is an AOL address. And they're invariably like, you're lying. And I was like, I swear, that is literally my only email address. So I still believe in AOL. But honestly, this is the weirder part. I still pay for AOL. I don't know how that happened because they used to give that shit away for free. But like every month, I'm shelling out $12 to AOL. Maybe
You're the
20
one?
at this point. I am the one.
Keeping the lights on?
Yeah, Warner Brothers needs that money, man.
Feeding the hamsters that are running AOL?
And I don't even check anymore. I have a hard time like letting go of it. But why? Why? You know what? It's time for a change. Fuck it. I'm gonna burn it.
Hotmail, baby.
No, I don't even want an email account. Anybody needs to find me can just like text me. And people are like, don't give away your number. I was like, why? I can ghost everybody. All right. So shall we start a show?
We can start a show.
We better. We better, because I'm almost done with the second blue milk. Soon there will be no show.
I mean, there's been a lot of foreplay. We should just get to it.
Yeah, let's do it. Fucking skip the nipples, go right to the clit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start the show. Marx was a newsman.
Once upon a time.
Now he's an award-winning writer, but back then he was a news hound, and he knows how to sniff out fucking news. He tracks down news for us every episode. Give it up for Marc Bernardin with the news.
One of these days, we're going to break a glass, dude. Because I'm too heavy. A few trailers dropped in the intervening days since we've done this before.
Yes.
The Acolyte trailer dropped. You guys see the Acolyte trailer?
I did.
Ooh, sexy.
This takes place 100 years before I give a shit.
I'm not sure. JC, is it 100? Is it 1,000 years? This is the High Republic, right?
It's High Republic, so I think it's. Oh God, I haven't read any of the books. I scolded everybody in the bar because we were doing Star Wars trivia before the show.
Right.
And now the internet is going to give me a taste of my own medicine. But I think it's 300 years is High Republic. Does anybody know? Okay. Ish. There we go.
Look,
Didn't embarrass myself. I haven't read any of the books. They put out like 40 books a month. How am I supposed to keep up with it? You can't even watch Ghostbusters.
Is not based on
how am I going to do this?
Don't fucking drag me into this shit. I will eventually see Ghostbusters. It's just I didn't know it was out this weekend, but I did see that trailer. Nobody in this that I grew up with, right? This all takes place way before Star Wars. No Skywalkers. There's no Emperor. There's no Vader. Well, that's right. No Skywalkers. Is there a Yoda? Is Yoda in this?
I
Give me something to fucking hold on to here.
Yoda, yeah, is supposed to.
Yoda
be
might pop up.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the.
But then if they put Yoda in jeopardy, I'm like, I know nothing's gonna happen because I met this motherfucker 300 years later on.
Well, now he's like 5'6", fucking ripped.
Yoda in his prime and shit.
Just banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time.
The fucking Wolverine of the Acolyte. What is the? I did see this trailer.
Will Wilkins
and it seems
chimed
very,
in and
it's very smart. What is this show about? Can you break it down?
Will Wilkins said it's 100 years before Phantom Menace.
So, I thought I heard 100. Okay. Yeah. What is the Acolyte about,
I
JC?
don't know. I don't really
and if you don't know who the fuck
anybody knows. It's about, I think when, when Yoda is like we haven't seen Sith forever. I think actually Mace Windu said that. Mm-hmm. I think this is when the last time they saw a Sith.
Is Yoda in the trailer?
No.
Then why do you know that Yoda's in it?
I think
you just heard some shit?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say Mace Windu's in the trailer?
No, Mace Windu and Phantom Menace says we haven't seen.
And they used the voice in the trailer or no?
No, I'm just
You're just referencing back. All right.
And I think
was like, what fucking Acolyte trailer did you see? Because I didn't see any of that.
It's the one with the Biggs at Tashi Station.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess it's about the rise and I guess squashing of the Sith that blips up 100 years before, with Amanda Sternberg, I think, is the shadowy figure who may or may not be twins. I also hear twins on the internet. I don't know shit about shit, so this is just things that I've read online, which probably is always true. But yeah, I think it's very much like, this is the first time we've ever seen a red lightsaber. I wonder what that means.
Oh, is that right? I saw the poster. The poster's fucking badass. Did you see the
Very
poster?
crimson.
Yeah, right? It's like the image of the lightsaber, and instead of it being a red blade, it's fucking blood. It's metal. That's some metal fucking shit right
Pretty
there.
dope. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'll watch it, but I guess they got to go somewhere, right? Instead of like fucking constantly being like, and you know who's at the center of this? Luke Skywalker. I guess they got to go before that.
Although it's back on the schedule, is Rogue Squadron.
Yes.
The Patty Jenkins movie.
And is she back doing it?
She is back doing it.
So what is that supposed to be about?
Rogue Squadron. Like Top Gun, but X-Wings.
But does it tie into a Star Wars I give a fuck about?
My guess is it's going to be like Wedge Antilles and those guys.
Like post-battle
Hold
of
on
Yavin.
1 second. Hold on. I just came.
But yeah, like post-battle of Yavin, when the entire fucking rebel fleet gets destroyed except for 3 dudes, they've got to rebuild an Air Force.
See, I'm part of the problem because that's what I want. I'm like, yeah, fucking shit that ties into shit I know. And everything else, I'm like, what's going on now? But
why do I care?
But I don't know. It might make me care. The trailer's moody. I just didn't quite understand what was going on plot-wise. But I'm happy to hear, not happy, but relieved to hear you don't fucking know what's going on.
Like you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you don't fucking know,
all
who
my
knows?
faculties are still here.
But I'm there for it. It was a hell of a fucking trailer. in terms of like it created tension as well.
And like wire food work. Like there's like dudes just flipping around and shit, doing cool stuff. Like, oh yeah, give me some kung fu. I'm here for kung fu.
What is the internet made of the Acolyte trailer? They for it, against it, what?
I mean, the only thing I see is people like, ooh, a red lightsaber. I don't know if that's good or bad. I just feel like, I mean, the internet, anything having to do with Star Wars on the internet, you're going to get a deluge of both haters and people defending it. So it's really hard to tell until it comes out, like Andor, where everybody's like, this is amazing, except for the people who are like, where are the space wizards? This isn't Star Wars. So I guess I'm proving my point that nobody's ever going to be happy with Star Wars.
You know what everybody loves, though? The Mace Windu comic book.
Yeah! Available at your LCS.
I haven't seen a single bad review. I haven't seen a single good review, but I'll take it. Yeah, it's still going. Next issue's out next week.
How many issues?
4 total.
How many out so far?
2.
There you go.
Go
pick it up, kids. You love Mark? Fucking support his Star Wars work.
Buy a comic book.
Yeah.
Buy a Star Wars.
Buy a Star Wars.
The Penguin teaser dropped.
I watched that.
Yeah, what did you think?
It looks like the Sopranos reboot. Like, oh, it's the Penguin, the sexy years and shit. Like, where's the open fucking collar and stuff? You know, I'm all for it, I guess. Are they going to have anybody else? Like, is Batman going to show up? Or?
You know, I'm not going to say anything because they might just give you a little bit of the little bat. You're just kind of like in the ether towards the end, like, oh shit, he's up on that hill there. Like Gotham Central, like, is that Batman? Fuck, hey, Batman! And then just move on.
This is meant to be long time ago, or?
I think it is a prequel to the Penguin we see in The Batman. And it's meant to sort of quench our palate, given that we're not going to get The Batman 2 until 2026.
I was watching the trailer, and my wife Jen was there watching it, and she was like, why would you hire Colin Farrell and then cover him with that much makeup? And I was like, that's what he likes.
That's his kink.
Yeah, he fucking wants that. He's all about it and stuff. I think he was the one that was like, let's do this.
Cover me up. I can do Irish too.
Yeah, it's pretty good, yeah.
Just this much though.
But you know, what do you think of the trailer?
I mean, like, oh, hey, Buzz. That just took me by surprise.
It really did, man.
I didn't
like somebody cosplaying in a geek bar? What the fuck?
I didn't have Buzz on my bingo card today. And suddenly it's like, oh shit, hey Buzz. I mean, I think it looks interesting. I don't know anything about it. I don't know the story that it's telling. I love Colin Farrell, so I'm here for it.
Right.
But it does have a little bit of the, okay, I mean, sure. Somebody wanted this badly, so they made it. And it survived a strike.
The Zaslav of it all as well.
The Zaslav of it all. That guy. But I'm curious. And we'll see. I think it's fall 2024 we get that show. So, meh. Beetlejuice
Bam.
Beetlejuice.
Oh.
Hey.
I have a quick Colin Farrell anecdote. He was on one of the for Banshees of Inisherin. We did a roundtable with him.
Right.
And
for those who don't follow that closely, JC used to do all the Hollywood Reporter ones?
All the Hollywood Reporters.
Like
stuff.
where they do actors on actors and directors
yeah,
on directors.
Hollywood Report, all the directors, actors, roundtables.
So he dealt with a lot of famous people.
And of all of them, Colin Farrell was one of the best. In terms of he came in like a normal dude, was super nice. I'm getting feedback. Was super nice to everybody, learned everybody's name, was joking around, brought his kid with him, was like the coolest guy. And his reputation is like, oh, he's this playboy celebrity jerk. Could not have been further from the truth. I was like, he won me over. I'll watch anything he does forever because he was so cool.
I haven't seen him since Daredevil, since Ben Affleck's Daredevil. So that's going back a few years, but he was absolutely lovely. And that was when he was brand new and the flavor of the month and stuff like that, when everyone's like, put him in everything. But he was absolutely fucking wonderful.
I think he had a little bit of the kind of RDJ humbling, where like he had a...
Because he was in everything for a minute.
He was in everything for a minute, prodigiously talented. He was in Tigerland and Minority Report, and like every director wanted to work with him. But he had a booze problem. I think he had a substance problem, and like there was a sex tape, and like all of those like that the stuff that happens to you when you're a young hot actor who the world is at your feet. He took advantage of all of it, and I think had been chastened by that experience. And on the other side of it came out as like, I'm just going to do good fucking work. I'm going to find directors that I like. I'm going to keep making Martin McDonagh movies. I'm going to keep like chasing down the work that's inspirational to me. And I'm going to do fucking Penguin, but only if I can be buried in 9 hours of makeup. Like that's my fucking deal. And it just seems very humbled by everything and very pleased to be there, which is the RDJ post. I woke up in a Kardashian's bed. Which I think that girl the bed that he woke up in, I think was a Kardashian.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was. I think like he just, because y'all remember, right, when he like just woke up in some child's bed after like a night of drinking and doing drugs and shit, and
way back in the
pre-Iron
Man days.
Yeah, like way pre. It was like the James.
Famously,
Toback,
he
like,
loves talking about it.
He does, to the point where like he mentioned in his Oscar speech. I wanted to thank my wife, my veterinarian, for taking a snarling wild animal and domesticating me.
My veterinarian.
He was a mess to the point where nobody would insure him to make a movie. Like every actor needs an insurance bond, they call it. So if something happens to you, the movie doesn't suffer for it. They can cover you. It's like, all right, well, if he's sick, we can pay for the outages or whatever. Nobody would do that because he was that bad of a bet. And so for Iron Man, Favreau needed to put up money out of his own pocket to help insure him to make that movie. I think Shane Black had to do the same thing for Kiss Kiss Bang Bang because he was just wildly unreliable for so long. Nobody would make that bet. And now post-Iron Man, post-Avengers, he's the surest bet in Hollywood. But yes, that also was Colin Farrell for a bit.
So to both Robert Downey Jr. and Colin Farrell, please come on the show. And,
we'll suck your dick.
all right, where are we going next?
We are going to the Beetlejuice trailer.
Oh. Number one, excellent title.
Love it.
Number two, excellent poster they put out a couple weeks ago where it's the hands holding the number, and it's like it's almost time or whatever. Fantastic. I saw the trailer. Like, I'm there for it. I vibed. Of course you would use the Harry Belafonte tune, the callback. It was really nice. They spent as long as they did building up to him. He looked on point. Having Winona Ryder be the first one to see him in the trailer felt all boxes checked. I was pleased. You?
Yeah, I mean,
they didn't give us a lot to go on.
Didn't give us a lot, and it's a long wait for a sequel. Like, I'm not sure if what's longer, this or Top Gun Maverick, in terms of like, yeah, we're gonna wait a generation before we do this again,
right?
But like it plucks the right chords. Like it's all nostalgia based, and so like if you can do the thing that makes me feel nostalgic for it, then I'm here. And so yeah, hearing his voice doing that again, it's like, all right, fuck it, yeah, I might not have, but all right.
That being said, in a world where like I'm like, wait, Ghostbusters came out, I'm sure Beetlejuice will come out, and I'll be like, that happened?
Yeah.
When is this due to happen?
September of this year.
Fair enough. Oh, that's a smart play. Right before Halloween, you can play all the way to Christmas.
And right after the summer stuff, just like, sweet spot.
What do you make a prediction?
Opening weekend?
Just in general, final run for a Beetlejuice. In an environment where Michael Keaton has now been ensconced as an absolute legend. Winona Ryder came back with Stranger Things. Wednesday, fucking Adams is in it. And it's a legacy sequel along the lines of a Top Gun. Fair enough. Can't fucking insult the bartender. Thank you. What do you think?
I think $400 million total.
Oh, I don't know, man. I think this has a chance to be like Top Gun business.
You think so?
People fucking love Beetlejuice, but you know what? That's an old man's point of view. Because if you asked me, I'd be like, people fucking love The Shining. but kids don't know The Shining today. So there could be a world where maybe not as many kids know Beetlejuice as I think. But you add, what's the actress's name?
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega.
Wednesday. That
takes care of that entire generation. Even if they never fucked with Beetlejuice, maybe that makes them a little more interested. I think between 700 and a billion. But then again, I would have said that about The Flash last year as well. So take it all with a grain of salt. But I think this has a chance to be fucking huge, man.
All right. We'll put money on it. $700 million. We'll put the difference in grosses on it, baby.
I don't know if I care that much.
I mean, I definitely
$5.
$5.
Fair enough.
$5 on it.
But yeah, looking forward to it. And you know, I'm like, oh man, what a great idea, and I'm glad they're making it. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm guaranteed to go. I got to be more. Yeah, I got to be more diligent about this shit.
I'll help you, man.
Yeah.
I'll just text you every Wednesday. Like, hey,
Let me
man,
know what's coming out.
You know what's happening? I'll be your movie phone guy. I'll just call you. Hello, welcome to Kev's movie phone.
Can you do that for the movie theater? That'd be amazing.
Do you want to see Ghostbusters for Frozen Empire? Press 1.
Wait a second. You didn't see it either.
No.
What's our problem? Are we just growing up or no?
Did we become real boys?
Yeah, like fucking. It makes me sad that neither of us have seen it. Did you, JC?
Bamf.
You saw it?
This is the only time in my life that I am the kid who did my homework and
shit.
nobody else did.
You saw Frozen Empire?
I saw it.
All right, let's fucking hear it.
If you liked Afterlife,
I did. Particularly the ending. I thought it was very moving.
this is if you combined this movie with Afterlife, it would be fantastic. But the same problem Afterlife had, where you're like, oh, this felt like a 4-hour movie that they just cut chunks out of.
Is that what Afterlife
This felt a little bit like that.
I've heard some
Still
people
fun.
pre-release compare it to the cartoon.
Very much like the cartoon.
Was it?
It felt like an episode of the cartoon.
Like many, I was a big fan of the cartoon.
The real Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
The real Ghostbusters, not the one with the monkey. Not the Filmation Ghostbusters.
Never the one with the monkey.
But it was, I really enjoyed it. Between Afterlife and this, they've succeeded, I think, in a way that few franchises have of passing the torch from the old to the new delicately and with care, to the point that if, spoilers, the original Ghostbusters are in this, they're in the trailer.
Yeah.
The next one I would probably go see on the strength of Phoebe and Paul Rudd's character, just because I'm like, oh, I'm in with them now. I'll follow.
You're
them.
that invested with the kids that you're like,
and
I don't need legacy cast to get me into it.
I don't think so. And it does very much feel like an episode of the cartoon. Like if Ghostbusters 1 is a 10 out of 10 comedy movie, and 2 you were like, yeah, it's a 6. You watch these and you're like, it's probably closer to a 7.5, and these are probably like 6s. But in a world where most sequels, I feel like now, are probably like 2s and 3s, I'm here for it.
Right.
I recommend, if you like Ghostbusters, go see it for sure.
It did all right opening weekend. It made $45 million, I think.
Which
over the
pushed
weekend.
it into a franchise total of $1 billion or something. Like every Ghostbusters thing ever made has now made over $1 billion. Which seems weird. Like, wouldn't you imagine, like, Ghostbusters was so huge that you'd imagine that alone did $1 billion, but
I mean, Ghostbusters, yeah, like it was a 1984 movie. Like nothing made that much money in 1984, you know, and it was a cult hit. It wasn't a giant fucking blockbuster.
Is that right? I remember it being a blockbuster.
It did. I mean, it's a blockbuster in our hearts, but like it's a video movie. I think.
I disagree completely. Would you look up Ghostbusters grosses?
Yeah, I will bet you the Ghostbusters grossed less than $100 million at the box office in its initial release.
I'll bet you $100 that's wrong.
Ooh.
I hope I'm right.
Because
I'm an actor professionally, I made that sound very convincing. But
Bam. The original Ghostbusters theatrical run, it was the top film for 7 consecutive weeks and one of only 4 films to gross more than $100 million that year. Further theatrical releases increased the gross to around $295 million.
so, what was the original theatrical gross?
More than $100 million that year.
All right.
Maybe I do still care about this shit after all. Because I could have just let that go, like whatever, but I was like, oh no. Justice.
Bam.
The city needs me.
It opened in 1,339 theaters to $13 million. It had a $30 million budget.
Wow.
And let's see. I'm trying to get down. I'm on Box Office Mojo. I mean, it ran for
It was
all
out for months.
summer.
Yeah. I remember the day it opened. I was at the King of Prussia Mall. My sister was going to Cabrini College. And so me and my parents and I brought my friend Mike Bellicose with us. We went to visit my sister, and while we were visiting her, we went to the King of Prussia Mall, and the movie theater there, they were showing Ghostbusters. And if that wasn't an amazing enough experience, after that we went to eat at Bennigan's. Remember Bennigan's? Bennigan's, where you're hungry for fun. So I love, they used to make like a French dip sandwich there that I always ate and shit like that. This day we went to Bennigan's. What's that?
Remember meat?
Oh, I do. I miss it. So this day we went in, they were offering mozzarella sticks. Now, in my mind, I was like, I always like used to tell the story like I was there the day that mozzarella sticks were introduced to the world and shit. No, that was just the day that mozzarella sticks were introduced to me. So the first day I saw Ghostbusters was also the first day I had a mozzarella stick. I'm just going to leave that right there because that was a pretty full day, man.
I mean, historic. I will never forget that day.
I was 13, and that's as big as it got. I was like, fuck, a great movie and new cuisine? Fuck.
Put these cheese dicks right in my face.
That they invented right here in Pennsylvania?
My
Bam.
arteries love it.
Yes.
Okay, so Ghostbusters opened June 8th, 1984.
Yep.
It ran until January 3rd, 1985.
6-month run.
After 210 days, it finished with $221 million.
Oh, damn.
What'd you say? Under 80?
I
What
said
the
80
fuck?
something.
Wow.
So I was
Do me a
close.
favor, man. Fucking look up the introduction of the mozzarella stick. as you know, as a side
Listen.
in restaurants.
It only grossed like $90 million in its opening run. It didn't catch on until microwaves.
You're gonna lose this one.
I'm not betting. I'm just curious now.
On mozzarellalove.com.
Fair enough.
Do you have to pay to access mozzarella?
It's the OnlyFans of mozzarella sites. If you ever wanted to jerk off to dairy, come
look
to
at the
Mozzarella
stretch.
Love.
Arcing ropes of cheese.
The earliest iteration of the mozzarella stick is believed to date back to the 15th century France.
I mean, well, that
France?
of course that makes sense. But when was it introduced in like the American
King of
restaurant
Prussia
scene?
Mall.
Yeah, is King of Prussia somewhere in there? When was it introduced to like I remember when salsa was introduced and shit. That happened in my lifetime. You know, I didn't live through much history, but I did live through
When
the
salsa
creation
made
of
it to New
salsa.
Jersey.
Yes. When did the mozzarella stick happen to the American mainstream?
Is it right around when the Indians decided to call it maize?
Wikipedia says the 1970s.
Is that right? So by that tracks. By the time it got to like suburban New Jersey, it was
84.
the mid '80s. Yeah, everyone else was
Mid-June.
enjoying fucking fried cheese, but in Jersey, they're like, "What's the mystery?" And then one day they were like, "You throw in a fucking fryer, you dickhead."
What are those logs? fucking cheese. What?
It cracked my world open, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was like for the first time I was like, I'll have an appetizer. My whole life, all the appetizers were like fucking vegetables and shit.
I'm a
Finally,
refined
I was
gentleman.
Like, yes, now I'm a member of polite society.
What's the vintage on those mozzarella sticks?
Anyway, back to the...
Anyway, I saw a couple of things. I think JC and I both saw the first. You saw the second episode.
What does that refer to? Like information bias, where I thought that I was there for the introduction of mozzarella sticks because they were my first mozzarella sticks.
The head chef at Bennigan's corporate was like, you got cheese, breadcrumbs, fryer.
Yes.
New food.
Let's try it out on that fat kid from New Jersey. He looks like a fucking target.
He looks like you'll like it. So X-Men 97.
Oh! Now, I did not necessarily fuck with X-Men, the cartoon. Jason Mewes did. He swears by it. That was one of his cartoons and stuff. I love the theme song, but I didn't go deep with that show at all. I saw some key episodes, and I was always impressed by how closely they honed to the comics. But the animation style, when I was coming off of Batman the Animated Series, I was like, well, this is a little Saturday morning cartoonish for me. Jason loves that shit. So when they announced, like, they're doing it again, and it looks like the original, and it's the voices of the original, he was excited. I'm sure he's consumed every episode. Have you? Were you a big X-Men cartoon?
I was not. That one missed me.
Yeah. Same here. But you fucked with Batman the Animated Series.
I fucked with Batman hard.
Yeah.
Like, he remembers how hard I fucked with it. But
I remember Marc Bernardin.
Yeah. Spit in my palm. These guys get it. No. Why is this show so gay?
This one?
Yeah.
Because of the blue milks. Give it up for the blue milks,
Cheers.
kids. For all those good folks watching in the Midwest who are like, don't go to Hollywood and drink blue milk.
No. You get a little gay. No, I didn't fuck with it that hard. And so this iteration of it looks so faithful to the original.
Very much so.
Like, they spared no expense in making this like a direct continuation of what happened in the OG show. But I don't have nostalgia for it. And I feel like this is a very nostalgia-based sort of enterprise.
No doubt.
And so, like, I can respect it.
Especially if they're continuing the storyline.
That I am not invested in. But I appreciate the attempt to make Cyclops a badass. Because he was always like the cuck of the Marvel Universe. And he's like, oh, Jean and Logan, fine. Whatever.
He's always got them cuck goggles on, right?
Yeah, just the tears.
So he can sit in the closet from a distance and be like, snicked indeed.
That is only the claws.
Did you watch any of the episodes?
The old ones?
No, the new one.
I watched the pilot of the new one. Like, it's well done. And it's like, I see how if this was your jam when you were a kid, this is mother's milk to you now.
Right.
It is not to me, but I appreciate what it is. And it's also very fucking soapy in the way that the X-Men was. The X-Men was always a soap opera that happened to be starring superheroes. And so, like, because when I'd read the Chris Claremont run, like, every fifth issue was, hey, we just dealt with the Hellfire Club. Let's play volleyball in the mansion grounds. And it'd just be like a whole issue where they're just, like, banging around like kids. Like, aw, Peter, aw. So
they were always supposed to be kids, but they always looked like they were in their 30s.
Yeah. And, like, they were totally fucking each other all the time. And so this show seems to be upholding that spirit. And so, like, I appreciate it, but it's not for me.
Right.
Because it's not for me. It never hit me as a kid. It's not hitting me now.
That being said, it must be for somebody.
Bam.
Oh, look who saved our ass again.
So, everybody's like, what do you think of the Acolyte trailer? I was like, I think I'm an X-Men kid for the next few months. Because, first off, I had a moment. We did a watch party at the bar, and Lenore Zan, who's the voice actress who plays Rogue, came in.
Right.
What?
And I was born in 1981. X-Men started in 1992.
Oh, you were perfect.
So I was like 11, like 10, 11 to like 15 when that show was running. And Rogue and that voice in that show, And when I met her standing right there in my bar and she started talking,
Did you need some tent removal?
I needed. Here's the funny thing: is she looked at me and she goes, "Yeah, that's not the first time I've heard that." And I go, "It's pretty embarrassing for me to admit that to you." And she's like, "Yeah, I hear it all the time." So there are a lot of young boys who are now in their mid-40s who have very clearly shared tent removal stories with Lenore Zann of Rogue, but also like. It was a Saturday morning soap opera for us,
but wasn't it 5 days a week? Like this was not a Saturday morning show. They were weekly.
They moved to Saturday mornings, I think, because I remember watching it with. It was like Batman and Robin, which was like season 4 of,
and that was
series.
weekly. That was daily, rather. I thought this was a daily strip,
and then. It would be like the Spider-Man animated series, The Tick, and X-Men is what I used to watch on Saturday mornings after being really cool and playing Star Wars customizable card game all Friday night at my friend's house. We'd wake up and watch X-Men because I was a cool kid in high school.
Spoon.
But they, I mean, in the second episode... Spoilers, sorry.
Of the new one or the old one?
Of the new one.
Okay.
Jean is pregnant and gives birth to a baby, but she and Wolverine are the only people at the mansion when she goes into labor, and Cyclops is fighting, I can't even remember who, and so Logan has to drive Jean to the hospital. And actually, no, that's what it is Logan has to drive Jean to the hospital while Cyclops is at the UN that is getting invaded by angry rioters, which is very, very similar to something that we all may have witnessed on TV a few years back.
Like in a January?
Yeah.
At some point?
It's so fucking good. And Magneto gives a speech to the UN.
I'm sorry, who's the father?
The baby's name is Nathan Summers Cable. It's Scott. Cyclops is the father.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. But she gives birth to. You watch her give birth.
And Wolverine cuts the cord.
Cable and.
Snicked. There you go, bub. Welcome to the world.
So good. Magneto gives a speech to the UN because Charles Xavier leaves the X-Men to Magneto in it, and he gives this speech and I'm like crying, and I'm like 14 again, and it was so good. It was so good.
This was a show too, largely responsible for introducing the X-Men to the mainstream. Of course, they were huge in comics, but they had no mainstream presence outside of the world of comics. This is the show that did it, so much so that like. It led to the movie. This primed an audience to be like, we're going to do this in live action.
I have never read an X-Men comic. And watching these 2 episodes, I'm subscribing to the Marvel comics, and I'm going to go back and reread.
Are you really? Is it making you go back to the source material?
Yeah, it's making me go back.
That rocks.
That's how much I'm into it.
Fucking A. Look at that. Huge review, man.
Huge review. I mean, not for me, but enjoy yourself.
You and I are slacking.
I know. But at least I watched it.
Give it up for JC. He picked up the slack.
And I saw the first episode of 3 Body Problem. Anybody watching? Are you liking? You digging it?
You?
I'm on board. Like, I'm here for it. Like, there's a lot of things you can say about the way Game of Thrones ended, but there's not much you can hold against the way Game of Thrones began. Like, Game of Thrones started fucking awesome out of the gate. Game of Thrones for 4 years was unimpeachable drama. And like, those guys are great at adapting stuff. They're not so great when they run out of road and rails to be like, oh, what happens now? It's not in the books. I don't know what to do. I'm bored. And then you just like end it real fast. But now they're at the beginning of a thing. And so the world building is really, really strong. The execution is great. all of the acting is top notch. I don't know. I never read the novels. There's 3 Chinese novels I think it's based on. Never read those books because I don't know how to read. But so far, it's intriguing enough to get me to kind of strap in for the rest of the 8 episodes. It's not like it's a big strap. It's a tiny strap.
Strap on.
The strapper.
And they dumped all the episodes.
All 8 are up now. So
Fair enough.
yeah, but I'm taking my time.
I watched on Netflix, what was it called? New York Homicide. Dick Wolf's got a reality show. You know, Dick Wolf
right.
is the king of like Law and Order, Chicago this, Chicago
Dum
that.
dum. Well, he's not a Chicago guy. I don't think he's a Chicago guy.
I think he is.
Is he?
Yeah, I think I believe Dick Wolf did like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire Department, Chicago sausage salesman. I believe
Sausage
he's-
King of Chicago?
I think it was like he pivoted after like Law and Order for there were like 96 Law and Orders. Then they trimmed it down to like the one with Mariska Hargitay, and then he pivoted, I think, and started doing a bunch of Chicago stuff. And then Law and Order came back.
Fair enough.
He does now. This is like a live action Law and Order, and oh my god, dude, there's nobody more entertaining to put a fucking camera on than a New York detective. Like their voices are melodic. They're fucking like straight out of Central Casting in terms of like, hey, fucking this guy, he comes over here, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's so beautiful storytelling, and then fucking the stories are fucking heartbreaking because it's generally about crimes and shit. But their attention to detail and to see like how haunted they are by like stuff. We all think of like man, that's their job. They're used to doing it. But every once in a while, they have the one detective talked about. I could see a light switch in my head that I could turn off, and that would turn off my emotions, and I could concentrate on the facts of the case. And she's like, then when I was done, I'd flick the switch back and go back to being a person. It was really fucking wonderful. It was only like 5 episodes and shit, but it was a totally good watch. And it's Dick Wolf moving into like documentary category, I guess.
Did you watch any of Quiet on the Set?
Yes. Speaking of true crime, I watched all of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty harrowing.
Hollywood's great.
That was not like I was not. I didn't grow up watching those shows, but I had a kid who did watch those shows. Many times I would use iCarly as an example for the kid. Be like, you can watch iCarly, or you can go write an episode of iCarly. One of them is more fun and stuff. But I didn't really have any interactivity with those shows. I knew about them, of course, but watching that thing was like, oh my god.
Yeah, just when you think you know everything bad that happens in Hollywood, it's kind of awful to discover some new shit.
The thing to me that was like not like the harrowing thing to discover wasn't new shit. It was when they were like, look at these clips of the show where there's just like series of like fucking like cum shots and whatnot with fruit and food, and you're like, that is fucking strange. I didn't watch the show, so I never saw it or anything like that. But when they show it like in succession, it's just like, how'd they get away with this kind of thing?
Yeah, when I watched the Bill Cosby documentary, We Need to Talk About Cosby, and it's harrowing to listen to all of these women tell their stories, but then every now and again they will show you shit from the Cosby Show that like, how did we not see this at the time? And there's an episode of the Cosby Show where Cliff makes his famous barbecue sauce, and what the barbecue sauce does is it knocks you out. And so, like, everybody who eats it, suddenly, like, fucking Theo is out and Vanessa's out and all of his kids are sleeping or whatever. Not his kids. He wouldn't give it to the kids because I remember, like, Booger shows up. He's like, can I have your barbecue sauce? Like, no. You're too young. You're too young. It's only for grown-ups. And I was like, you made a whole fucking episode about how you have a special juice that knocks people out and you're excited about it. And you just see, you're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It was on what, HBO Max or something?
Yeah, it's on
that's
the-
where I
on the
watch
Max.
it, but I don't know where they originally
Yeah, that's where it
did
is.
it. Yeah, it's worth a watch if you can kind of stomach it.
Yeah. I have
Well made is what
very
I'm
well
saying.
made.
Yeah.
But I have friends who were like, I lived this life. Like I was a child actor. Do not need to watch, but checks out.
Yeah.
I was like, that's horrifying. Anyway, on to some news, which will not involve sex offenders. I don't believe. I think I found these stories, and it's pretty on the surface. Okay. Remember how during the strikes they had to start shutting down productions of stuff? You know, there was the Writers Guild did a very good job of like going to locations. And,
Oh yeah. Bless you.
Going to locations and like if you had a picket line, then the IATSE crews would not cross the picket line.
Yes.
One of those shows was Wonder Man. It
Yeah,
was the Marvel
I remember
Simon
that.
Williams starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. And I remember theorizing at the time, where the internet theorized, and I echoed that, like, we're never going to see that show. It's never going to happen. I was wrong. Marvel apparently is committed to both Ironheart and Wonder Man are coming down the pike soon enough. They apparently, according to Marvel, are very, very good.
The shows are?
The shows are, according to Marvel. We're editing both of these as we speak. They're spectacular. They're amazing. And they're different. We're able to explore corners of the universe that are really exciting. Riri Williams is one of them, and I cannot wait for people to meet Simon Williams, says Marvel producer Brad Winderbaum.
No relation.
No, but it seems like somebody should have changed one of those last names.
Agreed.
You know, because not that they would have to be related, but they're both black people, and people will think some shit because they do.
Yeah.
So hey, fucking shows are coming. You know what's not coming? Eternals 2.
I saw you hesitate for a second. I was wondering, is he going to go for the joke? Coming is low-hanging fruit. And I was about to dive on it, but I saw you like hesitate. And I was like, Mark's got this. He's going to go for the cum joke. But actually,
You know what's not coming?
Tell me.
No, you do it.
Oh, I wasn't ready.
Well, but you had the joke, so I'm
Fair enough. Go ahead.
for you. You know what's coming?
Not me when I watch Euphoria. That show scares me.
Well, it's fine. They're never making any more.
Is that right?
No, but
Wait, what?
no, they are making more.
Oh.
Eventually.
All right.
The reporting is that Sam Levinson is having problems writing the script.
There's scripts?
Yeah.
Just seems like a lot of shots, like a lot of dreamy shots.
We're making it up as we go. No, apparently.
Filmmaking, I ain't taking anything away from it. It's like true filmmaking, but that is one of the shows that I watch and it scares me because I'm like, I don't understand this at all.
Yeah, I don't
Makes
need
me
to
feel
watch
like an
it.
old man lost in the mall. I'm like,
Do you have mozzarella sticks?
guy that looks like Silent Bob, real scared, looking for mozzarella sticks. Can we help him out?
Leave some on the ground. Just lead him to his car. No, Marvel has decided that there was an Eternals 2 that was in development. They're
Yeah.
like, we don't need to do that one.
Look, I back that 100%, man. That's we went with the Eternals. We took a journey. I'm good.
Yeah. And I think they're not going to make a third Captain Marvel movie or a fourth Ant-Man will not be pursued.
I mean, the anal retentive guy in me like wants to see one more Captain Marvel just because, you know, you need 3 of everything. That's what they've trained us to see. But the Ant-Man thing I get. Like,
Yeah.
you got 3 out of that. 3 out of a concept that most people were like, oh my God, fucking Ant-Man, go figure.
Yeah. I mean, who knew?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Captain Marvel thing is if there's a surprise, that's the one. I suppose you could say that The Marvels was the sort of de facto sequel to Captain Marvel.
I could also see a world, though, in a couple of years from now where they're like, you know what, unfinished business. Let's take one more swing at Captain
Yeah.
Marvel.
And also, the first one made $1 billion.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it feels like they're like, you know what, we'll adjust the formula, get it right, and wait just enough time where people will give a fuck again.
Yeah. But I mean, the Eternals, like, I need to revisit the Eternals. I remember not feeling overwhelmingly positive about it when it came out. But I feel like somebody needs to answer the, like, isn't there a giant half of a celestial hanging out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? Like, and we don't talk about it anymore?
Yeah. If they don't mention that in Deadpool, I want my money back. That seems like the right place to do it. God damn it, JC. These blue milks are fucking fire. I feel good about life in general.
Yeah?
Man. Yeah.
You feel all right?
Is this why people drink? Like, everything's going to work out, isn't it, Mark?
I feel kind of invincible.
Yeah, fuck. Let's take on the world. I feel like Dak, and we know it all worked out for him.
To the Army and the Navy and the battles they have won, to America's colors, the colors that never run.
Amen.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. Hollow? Hollow. Fuck it. What else we got here? Oh, hey. What happened? happened tonight, man?
I don't know, but it was adorable. You're like, what else we got here?
Like,
Nah, fuck this shit.
all right. Pearl Harbor was attacked? Oh, that doesn't seem right. Study shows
Yeah.
the youths want the new and not the remade.
Wait. The youths want the new
And not the remade.
and not the rebate. Explain that.
It means that, according to a recent study,
Yes.
young people want the same qualities that streaming services do, that they're tired of sequels and prequels and remakes and reboots. They want new shit.
The youth?
The youths.
Was that shit ever really made for them? It's more made for us, right?
The fucking youths, man.
I see. Here's my theory. You know how you were talking about before, motherfuckers like, oh my God, we're the first generation that saw a thing. This generation can't miss a thing because they're so overwhelmed with content. So we can enjoy a thing and pine for it, and want a sequel to it. But I understand them wanting the new because they're like, why would I revisit? Moving forward, ever forward. There's always brand new content and stuff like that. This generation's spoiled with new stuff.
Or
I'm kind of glad we were raised with less because it allowed us to appreciate more, rewatch more, study a thing more. But maybe that led to a repetitive and sameness in storytelling. I don't know. I guess time will tell. Fuck, I'm drunk.
now that sounded good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was totally a point in
I'm a
there.
poet, man, when I fucking have blue milks.
But no, Tubi, the streaming service,
To
did a
be or
survey,
not to be, Mark?
found that
That is the question. To be, yes.
found that 74% of millennials and Gen Zers prefer to watch original content rather than franchises or remakes. Viewers are increasingly seeking fresh and innovative ideas that push the boundaries of what's possible instead of rehashed versions of existing stories. Of those young kids, 71% also want content produced by independent and small-time creators.
Hey.
And want to feel like they're directly supporting the creators by watching the film or show. And yet, the study also shows viewers primarily tune into their streamers to fuel their nostalgia. 96% of streaming audiences surveyed want quality nostalgic content like The Office or Friends they can binge endlessly on a lazy Saturday or a snow day. That's how young they are. They have snow days. That push and pull between desire for new and old may sound like an itchy scratchy focus group, but hey, that's kids these days, says Forbes magazine.
The foremost authority on kids.
On the youths.
Forbes, we know children.
But I do find it interesting that like even the kids today are like, there's too much fucking old shit, except for the old shit that I like.
We're drowning in content, man. Drowning in content. It's a good thing. It's something that when I was a kid I would have wished for, but now I'm like, be careful what you wish for. It's too much. Can't not keep up. You?
I watch everything.
Do you really?
No!
Jason Mewes does. I don't know how the fuck he does it, man. But whenever I'm like, hey, man, did you see this? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how? You have 2 children. How the fuck do you do this? He's fine stuff.
Bam.
Yes.
Have you ever driven with Jason Mewes?
Driven?
Like he's driving
I
and you're in
stand
the
next to the
passenger
motherfucker
seat?
professionally for 30 years and personally. Oh, yeah, I've driven with the guy.
He watches TV in the car.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's still a good driver. He's honestly, pound for pound, I'd rather be him behind the wheel than anyone else other than me. If it's not me, I'd rather have Mewes. He's really good. But he does watch Columbo while he drives.
He drives.
He tries to figure out, solve a mystery while he's fucking navigating traffic.
And also, I've been in the car with you and like prayed to a God that I didn't know existed. Because this motherfucker drives like he's got a grudge against the world.
I don't. I drive like I'm running out of time. I figured that out. That's what it is and stuff. But we've never gotten hurt, right?
No!
There you go.
I mean, so far. Not because we weren't trying not to get hurt.
Jason, though, if this is the car, Jason's here.
Yes. Swivel. His head's on
He's
a swivel.
looking at the iPad while he drives, but only for like a quarter of a second. So it's actually
And I
probably
should point out,
safer.
for the record, too, with adults. He never does that with his kids in the car.
But
because
it's
his kids
probably-
would literally tell on him to his wife.
It's probably safer though because we're on our phone. Like, who's texting me? And he's like,
So yeah, don't go with Jay and/or Silent Bob. Finally, and this tickled my heart.
Okay.
Billy D. Williams would gladly play Lando Calrissian again if you paid that man his money.
Oh, he said, I'll do it for a fee?
Yeah, he was like, in a recent interview, he was like, oh, what would it take to get me to come back? Pay me a lot of money and I'll sell my soul.
He said that?
Yes. Said William December Williams. That is his name.
What?
William December Williams is his birth name.
I mean, Billy D. Williams is a great name, but you could really have rocked a whole career on William December Williams as well.
And like once I saw it, I was like, no. And they're like, well, no, Billy D. Williams? It all makes sense.
It does.
But yeah, he's like, fuck it, I'll come back. He's totally fine with Donald Glover being there. He's like, hey, he's a part of a whole new generation. He'll create whatever he needs to create to bring appeal to the character. He's a very talented young lad and very imaginative. I mean, it's not for me to say what he should do with the character at this stage. I took care of the 20th century. Now he's got to take care of the 21st. Isn't that sweet?
I thought that they should kind of team them up and like have him start telling them, like young Indiana Jones style. Start with Billy D, move over to Donald Glover, come back to Billy D. Bookend with Billy D.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Remember that time I fucked a robot? And then here's Donald Glover fucking a robot. It's the silver bullet, that's what they call me.
And the robot is Lobot. Is that all the news?
That's all.
Give it up for Mark. He did the news for you.
Bamf.
It's Banff Band, kids.
Before we do Q&A, I have a couple Scum and Villainy news items.
Okay.
Which is, earlier you were talking about writing things. On Instagram, I wrote a short film about Gambit meeting a Starfleet officer from Star Trek at Scum and Villainy, which is on our Instagram, and we have like 42,000 views on it, which is pretty cool.
What's the Instagram?
At Scum and Villainy Cantina.
Copy.
And we have a Ghostbusters fan film coming out probably in about 6 weeks.
That you shot here?
That Andrew and I wrote, and we're like partway through shooting. So,
Nice.
So you guys were saying you don't, like if you don't want to swim in the pool you're pissing in, I'm just swimming in piss. Just Ghostbusters, let's write a thing.
I'm swimming in piss, the JC story.
The other things that I just got a message about. This Wednesday, we're going to do another X-Men 97 watch party for episode 3.
Nice.
And the voice actor who plays Sunspot is going to come in. And then the week after, we're going to do one, and the voice actor who plays Gambit is going to come in and watch.
That shit. Kids, everything's happening at the fucking Scum and Villainy Cantina. Come on down, Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard. Drink with fellow geeks. See cool people who make the art you want to see. Now we've moved into the QVC part of the evening. It's a lot of bags, man.
I don't know how we got to have a lot of questions, I guess.
Save this to the end. Keep that hidden.
All right, we'll keep that hidden.
You guys are like Steve Sansweet with a bunch of Star Wars merch.
No
We also
doubt.
got these two little jammy jams. What do we do about these?
It's adorable.
I know. Does Harley want one?
No.
Shouldn't want this
Is this
shit.
for Loki?
Yeah.
God of Mischief? Oh, we'll figure it out. All right, we've got Q&A. Is that what we're headed toward?
We've got Q&A.
Wait, so you were just talking about some shit coming up at the Scum and Villainy Cantina? I have some shit coming up in town. What is it? April 6th. I'm doing Hollywood Babylon at Flappers. Come on out and see me and Ralph, kids. Then at csmod.com, you can find a whole list of shows across the country. I'm starting to tour again, so they're putting me out there in the world. So many cities to list, too many to list. Go to csmod.com. Kids, SEESMOD.com, to see if I'm showing up in a city near you. All right. How are we going to give away these bags? Clearly, we're going to do more than 3 questions.
Feels like we have to.
Yeah.
You know what I miss? You know what I'm sad that I missed?
Tell me.
The bus tour version of Kev.
What do you mean?
That I wasn't part of the fucking traveling circus when you toured the country on a bus.
You kind of were with the cruise. It was kind of like the bus, but instead with a boat.
Slower and less
I
stops.
loved bus life. It was so awesome. The first time I did it was because I got thrown off the airplane, right? Too fat to fly. And then I'd read this thing on a paparazzi website that said, we'll pay $10,000 for a photo of Kevin Smith in an airport, $15,000 if he's eating a sandwich at the same time. So I was like, fuck that. And so that's when I was like, I'm going to rent a bus because I had to get to some gigs. I think it was in Texas. So I rented a bus, and when I was driving on it, I was like, this is fucking great, man. This is like the Partridge Family, but I'm by myself. And so I was like, in the future, I'm gonna do this again, but like I'll go out on the road with people and stuff. And that's when we started taking Smodcast out and Get Old and Babylon. So you were never on the bus?
Never on the bus.
It was a fun time.
I heard the stories of the bus, the legends of the bus. I feel like watching Almost Famous was like, I'm almost on the bus.
A little bit.
But
it was, the bus is like, it's like having a boat. Like, I never had a boat, but I understand owning a boat is expensive. This was the kind of thing where if like you blew a tire, it was like a couple $1,000 fucking bucks. But the creation of the bus created more touring for me because I was like, well, we've got this bus, so let's fucking take it out. So we increased like the road shows we did by at least 3 times the amount based on having the bus. It was a good time, but I wouldn't go back to it again. Fun that we did it and shit, but now it's just like, get on a plane.
what if, though, you did like the 20th anniversary bus tour?
Oh, done and done. Do you want to go someplace?
Yes.
You want to like bus across the country, do Fat Man Beyond?
Do, yeah.
That's literally possible. This show has enough of a following where we could literally cross the country and do shows.
And we'll write songs and skits, and we'll camp out and maybe solve a crime or two. It'll be great.
Get some people out of jams and shit.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my God, I'm all for it. It's like BJ and the Bear, man.
Maybe a Muppet will show up.
Oh fuck, moving right along. Get it up. This is fantastic.
We did it, you guys. Now we don't have to go on it. We invented it and we lived it, and now we're done.
No, we'll do it, man. Again, the older I get, the more it's like, let's just do fun shit. That sounds fun. And as long as we make it financially viable, like we pay for the bus with the shows, why not do it, man?
Yeah,
We're not getting any younger.
No, I'm not. I tried that Lumen thing, and it was like, you're not alive. Like, are you breathing? I'm trying to keep the dot in the circle. We're not sure you're sentient, dude.
Lumen. It'll remind you if you're alive. All right. We got bags. We got tickets to give away. We got blue milks. We're ready to go.
Life is good.
All right. I'm going to break another rule tonight. I'm just a mess. Andrew, when are you coming back, please? I picked a question, and I always tell people, write your fucking name on it. And you didn't write your name on it, but we're still going to do your question because they're drinking blue milk, and I've had a long day. Who did the question about the sitcom? All right. You didn't write your name, but here you go.
You need a mic.
What's your name, man?
Mike.
Everyone give it up for Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Mike's on the mic. All right,
guys.
Mike, you're going to lead us off. Take us there. Look at these fucking fabulous prizes.
Mic check.
Dun, 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 dun,
So,
dun, dun, dun.
they
I'm
finally-
Vanna Whiting it, Mike. Hold on.
okay,
Dun,
sorry.
dun, 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 dun. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Loungefly.
Yes.
So, Scum Villainy is now a sitcom, a la Cheers. Who is playing Kevin, Mark, JC, and who is your Diane?
Ooh. Who's playing me? 2 choices. Ben Affleck. That's how I see myself. Or Paul Walter Hauser.
Okay.
You? Who's playing you?
Who's playing me? I'm playing me. I'm getting paid, son. Why would I give this sweet ass
And
money
Marc
away?
Bernardin as himself.
If it's not me, it's Tracy Morgan.
Nice. Who's playing JC? Oh, what's that guy's name? Adam Scott.
Oh yeah, Adam Scott.
Totally Adam Scott.
Or Adam Devine, one of the.
I get that quite a bit, actually. I went a little bit more.
Wait, who's our
exciting.
Diane?
Oh, who's our Diane? Katie Sackhoff is our Diane.
It's way better.
Good call.
Way better. I had Robert Downey Jr., Donald Glover, John Cena, and Felicia Day.
Ooh.
What, we run out of money at the end or something like that? I love Felicia, but like one of these things is not like the other. It was a very expensive show until we got to Felicia.
Damn, Felicia. Bye.
Well, all right.
Who's your Diane?
I go with Katie Sackhoff. I'll
Yeah?
co-sign that. I don't have one. I mean, but that sounds as good as any.
Okay. All right. Was there any other parts of the questions? Did we do it?
It's fucking genius,
We
man.
fucking did it.
You did it! Pick out a bag!
Pick a bag, any bag.
And here's some 40X tickets from the good folks at 40X. Such a pleasure. Before we go into question two, Shannon, you here? Come on over. So Shannon makes the Vans that I wear, which I absolutely fucking adore. Smodcastle, Clerks, Mallrats. I wore a Mallrats pair recently somewhere, and they loved it. Remember?
Aw, I do remember.
So for Christmas, like go to the camera. Yeah, you got to do it. For Christmas, I told Mark I was getting him a pair of his own Vans that one crafty punk at Instagram.
One crafty punk. Yes.
One crafty punk, and she does these. Look at that shit. Hand painted, right, Shan?
Yeah.
So this isn't like you can go to like a Vans website and put a picture on, but this
can
is
put a picture,
literally
but yeah,
hand
these are all
painted. Look at that
hand-painted.
shit. Unbelievable. And what's this?
Did you customize his fleshlight?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, son. Look at this shit, man. She did Secret Stash sneakers for me, man. Look at that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's absolutely phenomenal. My God, you're fucking gifted. If anybody wants a pair of Vans, customized and want, where do they go?
Instagram.
Instagram, One Crafty Punk.
Yes.
Give it up for Shan, everybody. These are
Thank
fucking good.
you.
Thank you.
She should have a Loki wallet.
Hell yeah, you get one of these. Actually, fuck that. She should get a big bag. Pick out one of
Pick
the
a
big
big
bags.
bag.
Yeah.
Done.
Hey, give it up for Shannon. Oh my God, these are so fucking fresh.
She's fresh. She's so fresh. Exciting.
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm 53. It's really hard to wear clothes that don't have my face on it anymore. Just shouldn't be. All right. Next up, Captain.
All right, next question. Mark Cabrera.
Give it up for Mark. Mark's next.
Hey!
Mark.
Is it Mark with a C or a K?
I was drunk when I wrote this.
C or a K?
With a K.
Fuck you, man.
We've interviewed you. You were on our show.
I was, yes. Thank you very much. You're very sweet. You still spell your
We'll
name
have you,
wrong,
Kevin,
but
next.
what are we going to do?
Hey, you can have me anytime you want, Mark.
So my question is, when was the last time you were starstruck by someone who influenced your work? Mark Cabrera.
A great fucking question. You want to lead? Try to think. Recently, I thought about. I was going through books, and I found a copy of Fletch One, W-O-N, and it was yet another paperback copy. And I opened it up, and there was a stamp inside that said, "From the Library of Gregory MacDonald." So Gregory MacDonald was the author of the Fletch series of books, and I crossed over with him at one point because there was going to be a Fletch movie that I was involved in. And so he had sent me one of his copies of Fletch One. I still have it. And when I saw it, my heart skipped a beat because he is how I learned to write dialogue, more so than reading screenplays or watching movies. The dialogue in the Gregory MacDonald Fletch books had such a fucking unique ear for how people speak that is what trained me to feed me for the rest of my fucking life. So when I saw that dude stamped in the book, I was like, because of this stranger who I met years after the fact, that after I first interacted with his work, because of this stranger, like I literally make a living out of making pretend. That took my breath away for a second. But that's not meeting him, because I never actually met him in the physical world. We spoke on the phone, that was about it. That was just a placeholder, so you could think. Over to you.
I'll tell you 2 stories. I'll tell you the one where I didn't do the thing I should have done, and then the one that I did.
Okay.
The first time I moved to LA, I was here for a summer, like a fall, working on alphas for the Sci-Fi Channel. And a buddy of mine, a guy named Josh Fialkoff, who's not quite an LA native, but had been here for a while, kind of like took me around. We went to Glendale. We went to his favorite bookstore. I think it was called like Forbidden Galaxy or something like that in Glendale. And we wanted to walk in, like do a little shopping, and then go get lunch, because we're fat dudes, and we're like, hey, listen, this is what we're here for. We walk into the store, and the store is like empty except everybody's at the front of the store. We're like, I don't know what's happening. I'm not sure. Let's go investigate. And it was a conversation between 2 Rays. It was Ray Bradbury and Ray Harryhausen.
Oh, shit.
Were having a talk at the front of this fucking store. And we were like, this is great, but I'm hungry. And so we like snuck back out the back of the store and went to a diner like 3 storefronts down and promptly handed in our nerd cards because we didn't stay to listen to the assorted wisdom of the pair of Rays. The time that I did do the thing I was supposed to do, I was at a convention in Canada called the Northern Fan Con. And we'd done a Fat Man up there once. I seem to be a guest that they like to bring back. I'm going back again this year for their 10th anniversary. But this time I'm talking about, Edward James Olmos was one of the guests of the convention, who I knew a little bit from the Battlestar Galactica that I did with Trisha Helfer. So like he keeps wanting me to call him Eddie, and I still refuse to do that because he's always the Admiral to me, and that's just what I call him. But we're on the tiny puddle jumper from Prince George, Canada to Vancouver to then get another flight to go back to LA. So we're just kind of fucking like sitting in a chair apart and having a little dumbass conversation. We get to Vancouver, waiting for the next flight, and LeVar Burton walks up. And Edward James Olmos and LeVar are friends because of course they are. Because why wouldn't they be fucking friends, right? And so Eddie says, like, oh, LeVar, do you know Mark? And he's like, no, I've never met you. Hey, how are you? I'm LeVar Burton. It's like, yeah, I know. And then I proceed to like screw my courage to the sticking place. And I say, Mr. Burton, I just wanted to tell you, I'm sure you get this a lot, but I am not sure that if I had not seen you in The Next Generation, I would have thought there was a place for me in nerd media. It would not have occurred to me that I could find a home amongst this stuff and try to be a part of it and cover it as a journalist and eventually write it, and I do, and so I just wanted to thank you for being you and for kind of showing the way. He's like, that's really sweet, man. Thank you very much. And we get on the plane. I don't sit near him like, he's in first class and I'm back in steerage. But we walk off the plane and, Edward is there. See, you can't call him Eddie even now. He's there and he's like, oh, hey, good to see you guys. And I say, hey, Mr. Burton, it's really nice to meet you. Great, have a good time. And then we all start walking in the same direction after we say goodbye, and I got like really awkward for a while. And then I like branch off to get in my car, and LeVar goes to fucking baggage claim with his handler, some big Russian dude who's like carrying all of his shit. And I'm in the elevator to get up to my car in parking, and a hand sticks into the elevator before it closes. And it's LeVar's giant Russian guy. And LeVar sneaks around the corner. It's like, you thought you get rid of Kunta Kinte that easy? I'm right on your ass, motherfucker. I was like, oh. But just to be able to tell somebody like that what they meant to you has become a bit of a watchword in my life. Like, if you encounter that person, you will only ever get that chance once. So say the thing. The worst you can do is embarrass yourself desperately, and if that person is cool, they will help keep your respect. You know, they will help you salvage your self-worth. If they're assholes, but at least you said the thing, because when else are you going to get to say the thing? So that was my time telling somebody precisely how much they meant to me. Woo! Woo! Pick a bag, and you get some tickets too. Fair enough. Go see it.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen.
We last show we talked about me meeting George Lucas, so I'm just gonna drop that again in this show.
And you not meeting George Lucas.
Yeah.
But mine is Leonard Maltin, who anybody under the age of 30 is like, who's Leonard Maltin? But Leonard Maltin came to the bar and did an event here, and I was like, that's the guy who pushed me, his books, into movies, and that was really cool.
Spike Lee. I had a Spike Lee moment within the last few years that really that felt very gratifying and made me feel like, oh shit, maybe I am a professional. I love Spike Lee movies, and Do the Right Thing is very responsible for Clerks' existence. I stole their formula. It takes place in the span of a day, all in one block. I just didn't have anything important to say about race. So that's where I kind of fall away from Do the Right Thing. But
We didn't know each other yet.
Yeah, that's true. You would have really informed that. Spike wrote these amazing books about filmmaking early in his career. He wrote one for She's Gotta Have It. He wrote one for Do the Right Thing. He wrote one for School Days called Uplift the Race. He did them for almost every one of the early movies. And, you know, in a pre-internet era, it was tough to find information about how independent films were made, and he was providing a film school and a book. You know, kind of a generation before Peter Jackson would provide film school on a Blu-ray extra or a DVD extra for the Lord of the Rings movie. Spike was doing it in these books. So that was my bridge to a world that, like, seemed possible. You know, I'd seen Richard Linklater's movie Slacker, made it seem possible, but Spike's movies, like, were more filmmaker oriented. Not that he was a better filmmaker than Richard Linklater. He, you know, just different and both wonderful. So his work very much informed mine.
Oh no.
JC, somebody just set you back $20. You better sell 2 more blue milks.
Not to us though. I gotta
Yeah,
try.
please. We'll take a free refill. So you know, early on in my career, I crossed over a little bit with Spike Lee because the guy who sold my movie, John Pearson, was my producer's rep. He was the producer's rep that also sold She's Gotta Have It. So he was tight friends with Spike. So on his show, a split screen, which he used to do on IFC, the Independent Film Channel, I'd been on an episode of the show with Spike, which was like a huge honor and stuff. Spike went to the Cannes screening of Dogma and sat right behind me. I don't think he liked it very much, if I remember correctly and stuff. Didn't matter. Spike Lee was like one of my guys, one of my Mount Rushmore. So, you know, I've gone on, I've had a career, he's gone on, he's had an amazing fucking career and stuff. And the people that buoy you in the beginning, you know, get you where you're going, and then you're on your journey and you lose touch with their work because you're making your own work and stuff like that. But I've always checked in every movie Spike Lee has ever made and still consider myself a fan. It's cut to a couple years ago, I was going to VCon, Gary V's NFT show. I was there, Spike was also there. So we're at the event, and at one point somebody's like, hey, Spike's in this, you know, room over here, do you want to go say hi? And I was like, oh my God, absolutely. So I go over, and you know, at this point I've been in the business 29 years. So at that point, maybe let's say 28, because it was a couple of years ago. He warmly welcomes me and stuff, and nobody's like around, and he says this, he goes, we're still here. And that fucking like moved me, because number one, it was a we, where I was like, you consider me fucking, you know, a fellow a peer? What, if I can go back in time and tell the young Kevin Smith who starts this journey, like one day one of your heroes says we and includes you in it and stuff. And saying that we're still here was acknowledging that, like, people have come and gone, but we're still doing it. We're still fucking, like, indie or not, still telling our stories. I felt so fucking like, oh my God, I've made it. Like, it was a pretty breathtaking moment for me. All right, over we go to JC. We got bags to give
All
out.
right. Edgar Iming? Edgar slash Ming, sorry.
Edgar, get on up here. Give it up for Edgar, ladies and gentlemen. Edgar's got his eye on a bag.
Thank you. Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
My question is, I have one question and a small follow-up question. Do you have any advice for a nerd who is a father-to-be?
Oh, my God. Yeah, don't be afraid to curse in front of the kid. I never was, and whenever somebody was like, you can't curse in front of your child, I'd be like, hey, man, if she gets this right, she can make a healthy living off this shit. And also, just remember at any given moment that you are shaping an existence that goes on long after you, and the ripples of everything you do will be felt forever. My kid's now 24, going on 25. She could still cite moments and memories from childhood that I'm like, wow, you remember that shit? And I'm glad that I kind of went out of my way to make it as idyllic as possible, because she seems to remember like some of the key stuff. I've talked about it before, but like my kid and I have a pretty good relationship, really good relationship, but it was at a cost, because I was like, do I want to be my kid's parent or do I want to be my kid's friend? And I had a parent, two of them. They were great, but we didn't have a friendship. They were mom and dad, and I respected them and shit like that. When it was my turn, I was like, I don't know how many bites the apple I get. I only wound up having one kid. I was like, I'm going to put my money, my bet on friendship over being a parent. You got to remember, I was 29 when the kid was born, 28 technically. I wasn't done being a kid myself, and I was infantilized by a job of making pretend for a living. So I don't know that I was responsible enough to be somebody's parent in terms of shaping their existence as you should do this, you shouldn't do that. I'm a bad role model because I took a chance on myself young in life that as an old man I would caution a young man against. I made clerks on credit cards. If I can go back in time and tell that kid, you're fucking dummy, don't do that. Oh my God, you could get ruined. And I know how the story works out and stuff. So I made a choice to have a friendship with my kid. I was like, I don't know that I could be somebody's dad, but I know I could fucking be somebody's friend. And so, years later, and she said it before and she reiterated it recently and stuff. And also she fights me on this. She's like, I never said that exactly. But at one point I said to her, was I a good father? In retrospect, did I do okay? And she said, the thing is, I never really thought of you as my dad so much as my rich, older, fun brother with money. And I was like, I don't bump into that. That's what I was going for, man. So I'll never get to do it again, but I don't regret the relationship that I built with my kid. Now, if you ask her, I'm sure she'd be like, I would have preferred sometimes to have a parent, but I think she felt she had more of that in her mother. With me, it was kind of good times and shit like that. So I don't know if that was the right course of action. My kids turned out to be a really good human being with a good head on her shoulders, not an asshole. She was born in New Jersey, but we raised her in fucking Hollywood. And I was always worried she'd turn into one of these Hollywood kids or worse, fucking Kardashian. But she's got her head on her shoulders straight, so something good came of that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was more what my wife did than what I did, but I would say be the kid's friend. Let your spouse be the parent, then they do all the heavy lifting and shit like that. Be the fun guy. This is my best advice. You?
A thing that I learned trying to raise a nerd kid is nerd is in their DNA, but do not force your nerddom upon them because they will resist it at almost every turn. but they'll find their thing that they're nerdy about, that they're a nerd for. You won't understand it because you're not supposed to. You know, there is a generational skip that happens, and usually happens with music. For nerds, it happens with content, it happens with movies or TV shows or whatever it is, but the thing that you loved when you were young will not be the thing that they love when they're young, no matter how much you try.
But you'll recognize their passion.
You'll recognize the passion. You'll see the signposts of it. You'll see the earmarks of it. Like, oh, that's the thing coming out. You love fantasy football as much as I love Dungeons and Dragons. We're both grinding numbers. We're both assembling teams. We're both fielding things into battle. That's all real, but the way it manifests is different. And so it's hard to like just, the tendency is like, no, I want you to like Star Wars like I like Star Wars, and they won't. The more you press, the more they'll resist, because that's their job, is to find their own path. So like, it's the slow blade penetrates the shield version of nerd parentage, which is like, listen, don't fucking force it, just let it happen. They will see that you love a thing, and eventually they might find their way into loving it too, because you love it, not because you want them to love it. Just follow their lead, and they will do you proud, unless they're shitty, and they wouldn't be shitty because you're a nerd and you had a good kid.
Give it up for Mark. Great answer. Now, I believe you had a part 2 to your question.
I'll chime in. Play with your kid.
There you go.
Like, make believe, and it'll be good for you as well.
Small question. It's for Ming. Ming, mother of my child. We've been through a lot in front of the geek godfathers and all of the internet. Would you give me your hand in marriage?
Oh, shit! Oh! What'd she say?
She said, I guess. That's good enough.
Yeah! Get on up here! Ming, join him real quick. Hey, Ming, come on up. Oh, God, you guys not only are going to win a bag, you're going to win something else, man, that'll bind you together as a couple. Look at these two. Give it up for the happy couple. Don't go anywhere because you've won 2 tickets to a 4DX movie.
Now be careful, because if she's the mother of your child to be careful the movie you bring her to.
And you have one of 2 bags to choose from and a bonus prize. This looks like a diaper bag. Well done.
Done and done.
Now, fucking even better, Mark brought a mystery prize right here, kids.
A magical mystery prize. I mean, time is of the essence. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Keep a sterile environment. Pipe your fucking asses. Both of you.
This is a tushy, ladies and gentlemen. The modern bidet for people who poop. You're going to need this because Kim's kids come with a lot of shit, my friends. Give it up for the happy
Thank
couple.
you.
Congratulations. Adorable. That's awesome.
Just one thing to check off your registry is a fucking bidet.
That's true, man. Bunch of friends were like, I was going to get him that ass douche. All right, we got one more bag. That means we could do one more question. We're out of 40X tickets. Thank you to Brett Deacon and
But
good
we got
folks
those
at
little,
40X.
those little purses, too.
And we do have these, so we can have bonus questions as well. All right, so we're never going home.
Nope.
Here we go for the big bag. Go ahead.
I've got 2 left. So
It's got strap-ons
we'll
as
do
well.
bag and wallet, and then the last bonus question will just be
Fair
wallet.
enough.
Does that work? Okay. Joshua LaRue.
Josh, get up here, man. Give it up for Josh LaRue.
Ooh, okay. If Andy 90s Band could rewrite the X-Men 90s theme song, which band would you have write it? Say Matchbox 20.
Color me bad. No.
Does it have to be 90s? Could they have been around since the 80s and existed in the 90s?
Fuck yeah.
Beastie Boys.
My man.
The original lineup. X-Men! I'm sorry.
Anthrax.
Excellent call. And they love comics as well. Yes.
Dweedly, 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 dweedly. Is that not what they sounded like?
You sound like the fucking dude from Police Academy making a fucking perfect Michael Winslow right there.
Dweedly, dweedly.
What about you, JC? You got anything?
Rammstein. X.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
X-Men.
Deep cuts.
X-Men. Just make it very German.
Yes. Terrifying for children. Excellent question. You win a bag. All right, we got 2 more little wallets, man. These are from Loki. Yes,
Yeah.
it's the Loki collection.
All right, I've got one more question. I'll dig for another while. Anthony Ramirez is doing
Anthony, you
his
here?
question.
Give it up for Anthony. He's joining us.
Andy!
Alrighty, so my question is, if you were to make or write a rom-com about you meeting and courting your wives, what would the story be and who would you cast?
Jesus. Meeting and courting my wife. I mean, it's more like she met and courted me.
Are you working your nipples? Is that how you write? You're like,
Mace Windu. You mean to train this boy?
mine would be like the front page. Very Howard Hawks. She was a journalist when I met her. A lot of fast dialogue. That's the only way a guy like me could have possibly gotten laid back then. I would do that. Howard Hawksian kind of front pagey, rapid fire dialogue romance. You?
Continental Divide.
Oh my God, with John Belushi and Blair Brown? Is that
Was
who
it Blair
was?
Brown?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds about right. Not Susan St. James. I always wanted to think it was Susan St. James, but I don't think it is.
It ain't her.
But yeah, my wife and I, we first met at a friend's birthday party, but we got together on a camping trip. And so Continental
Are you
Divide.
serious?
Yeah.
You got together on a camping trip?
Yeah.
You never hear that anymore, man.
Yeah,
That's
black
crazy.
dudes camping, it's weird.
I just instantly went to like camp movies, summer camp movies.
Summer camp movies. Well, I mean, the Continental Divide version is where I like break a leg and she's got to like hoist me out of the wild while I crack wild and crack fun the whole time. It's not quite Meatballs. It wasn't that thing.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like David Allen Greer plays me because I do love David Allen Greer. Dag in the house.
Dag.
And Meg Ryan can play my wife. If we're aiming for the fucking moon, you get
True.
the princess of rom-coms in there like wearing a robe and fluffy slippers while we're camping. And I like break my thorax and she's got to hoist me out of the New Jersey Pine Barrens back to civilization.
Do I have to cast mine?
I think that was part of the question.
My daughter has to play both parts.
2 paychecks.
Just because her whole life she'll be like, you piece of shit. She'll be in therapy forever talking about, I played both of them. They're so fucked up.
I had to kiss myself a lot. It was so weird.
What a great question. JC, do you have anything?
Sorry, too many buttons to push without answers.
I know.
I met my not wife, my partner, at a Rat concert at the House of Blues, and I just think that is perfect for us. And who would I
Rocked her
cast?
like a hurricane and shit.
Who would I cast? Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox.
I mean, I'd have gone like Jack Black and Molly Ringwald, but sure.
Excellent question. Come get your wallet, my friend. Such a pleasure. Excellent shirt. All right, we got one more Loki wallet to give out.
All right, this is Zale Garcia. There you go.
Give it up for Zale. Give it up for Zale.
Zane.
Zane. Give it up for Zane, everybody.
Terrible penmanship, sorry. All right. If you could write a Shakespeare adaptation within a comic book universe or any cinematic universe, which play would you choose in which universe?
Ooh. That's my favorite Shakespeare. Am I so boring as to say Hamlet? I guess I'm a big Hamlet guy. You?
Yeah. I mean, I like Hamlet. Everybody likes Hamlet, but I don't pick Hamlet.
What do you pick? Hamlet's son, Piglet.
I was about to make a joke that I'm not going to make on the internet. No, I won't do it. Can't make me do it. No matter how many times you say "oh." Part of me wants to say "Much Ado About Nothing."
Right.
With Peter Parker and Mary Jane as Benedict and what's her face?
Beatrice.
That one. The other part of me wants to do Othello because Othello I think is my favorite Shakespeare play. Yeah, fucking Othello. Let's do Othello. In the MCU, with Luke Cage and Jessica Jones as Othello and Desdemona.
Nice.
With the Purple Man as Iago.
Nice. I do Hamlet in the Star Wars universe with Luke Skywalker as Hamlet. And his father, well, we know. R2-D2 and C-3PO is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Found it!
JC, you got to back up, or you got to press 19 buttons before it happens? There it is.
I would do Romeo and Juliet with.
Oh my God, what a great poll.
But Scarlet.
It's crazy. Like, why didn't we think of that? We went for like obscure or fucking old bullshit.
I mean, you did Hamlet, so.
But that's like such a fucking love story.
Like, Sonnet 14.
The X-Men version of Scarlet Witch, who has Magneto as her father,
right,
and one of Xavier's mutants, like an adopted son of Xavier. So you've got the Magneto family and the Charles Xavier family going up against each other.
I do like how suddenly House of M is House of Montague.
Yes.
Nice. Great question, great answers. Give it up for him. He wins a wallet.
Thank you, Zane.
Thank you. We ran out of prizes. That means we're out of questions. That means technically we may be out of show. What's this? Friends won't let friends hawk the trek. What does hawk the trek mean? It's a Star Wars thing. Hawk the trek. Very, very cool.
Okay, I won't let you hawk the trek, I promise.
You better not. Y'all having a good time so far?
I hope so, because we're out of show.
I know, yeah. Enjoy it, because it's about to end.
So far, it's 11:15.
Are you serious? What time do we start?
Like 8:15. I remember the days when you were like, we got to keep the show to half an hour. The internet doesn't want any longer than half an hour.
I guess we just started wandering. We're out of show, ladies and gentlemen. Did y'all have a good time this evening? If you did, it had a lot to do with the location, man. It's always a good time here at the Scum Villainy Cantina. Located in the heart of Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard. Come on down. Even if we're not doing a show, it's definitely a place to hang out. I spend a lot of time in the middle. I feel like I should be over here, but I always want to be closer to you.
That's sweet. And you also get a fucking thing to lean against.
That's true.
Where I'm just in there freeballing it, just trying not to fall down.
Fall down we might, kids, because we're about 3 blue milks in. So give it up for the bartenders who fucking put together the joy. And the folks that bring you the joy as well. Give it up for the owner of this here establishment. And our third on the show, JC, Banff Man himself.
Happy anniversary, JC.
Happy anniversary, my friend. And give it up for the other guy without whom there is no show. Marvelous Marc Bernardin, ladies and gentlemen. And that, my friend.
Let's give it up for Lumen also, who paid for the show tonight.
Yes, the good folks at Lumen who made JC very happy as he's walking away with a free Lumen tonight. He'll be fucking tracking everything. He'll be sucking on that thing like a cock. Lumen.
Use code FATMAN at checkout.
Yes. Kids. Oh, I said I said give it up for Mark.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. Thank you for all showing up and whatnot. How was chat tonight, JC?
Chat was good. Chat was real good. I did not see any problems at all. People seemed into it. Contributing.
Excellent.
We had we almost had 1,700 concurrents, so a lot of people were watching.
A lot of people were tuned in and shit.
Yeah.
They love the bar. If they can't be at the bar, they should come to the bar. The bar is cool. Is that not the slogan we use?
It was so many words.
So many bars.
Come to the bar. The bar is cool. The bar is where the bar is life. Over the lips. And the bar is.
I shall not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is a little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear, allow it to pass over me and through me, and turn my inner eye to follow its path. And when it is gone, only I shall remain.
Marc Bernardin doing it for you, kids.
Nisan al-Gaim out.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Fat Man Beyond for this week. Tune in next time. Same fat time. Same fat channel. Smodcast.com or
YouTube.com/Kevin Smith.
Jeff's Kiss, my friends. Wow.